Welcome to episode 22 of the Galen Trombley Show. I have two young ladies in the studio today. I met them, I believe, through North Country Connections. Actually, I think I met them through email, but they're both awesome girls. They're get this title right. They are co-event managers at Party Plus Events. Their names are Anna Hewitt and Steph Demarais. So I got the pronunciation right. So welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we were just picking on Steph before we got on air. She was holding onto the mic like it was like the oh shit bar in a car, but she's good now. I think she's settled in. So
Relaxed.
relax a bit.
So
That's good. It's fine. It's not going to go anywhere.
Alright.
So what we're going to do, since we got a couple people here and they're both new, we're going to do a little bit of background on each, kind of get into it, and then we're going to just talk about all things Anna and Steph. So Anna, we'll let you go first. Give us just kind of a background. How'd you get to 2019 Anna?
So I was born and raised in Plattsburgh, New York, so I've been here my whole life. I've never moved anywhere else, not even for school. I'm a Plattsburgh High School graduate, and then I went on to Clinton, and now I'm looking into SUNY Empire to continue with the events and that sort of fun. For the most part, I'm pretty simple, I think. I live in my first house. My boyfriend and I are, I guess, learning as we go. I have technically 3 dogs. I have my 2 doodles, which are Instagram famous, by the way. And it's George and Bitsy, and then Brady and I have Milo, and he is a boxer lab mutt. And it's an odd bunch, but they look great together. What else? I don't know. I feel like that's really it. I just like to work on my house.
Pretty basic, right?
Yeah, and spend time with my dogs.
That's it. The doodles.
Yep.
We'll
the
talk
doodles.
about the doodles later.
Yes.
So Steph, give us your background.
So I went to Peru High School, and then I moved to Florida for school, Florida Southern College, go Mocs. So my major was sports and events management. Graduated there, and then I worked in the sports department, athletic department there, doing events for day of sports and things like that. And then I started working at Streamsong Golf Course in the wedding and events department there, and we did a ton of stuff with like PGA, just big weddings and things like that. And so I was there for 3.5, almost 4 years. Stayed in Florida for 5. I was in Lakeland and then Brandon, right outside of Tampa. And then this past May, I moved back, and the position opened at Taylor Rental. So now I am with Anna. And we're
Finally,
doing
right?
weddings.
There you go. Yeah, it was like your long lost friend that just popped out.
Literally.
So you said sports event managing. You
Mhm.
said it was PGA. You said golf.
Yes. So
Okay.
we would host like the PGA Superstore, like all of them. It's like 400 people would come for a
Mhm.
week. They did golf tournaments and stuff like that.
So you went for event planning
Yes.
for college, and did you go for anything for event planning?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So
Event planning literally fell into my lap.
Okay.
I had no knowledge of it, or I guess almost interest in it.
Mhm.
But my first real job was actually as an office assistant at Taylor Rental. And the opportunity came up where I slowly put my toes into the event department,
Yeah.
and then I covered the maternity leave of the actual event manager. And I guess time went on and I went back to travel. I did a little bit of travel and event coordinating for a few years,
Okay.
and now I'm coming back because the position opened up and it kind of also fell back in my lap. So
Okay.
I went back to the weddings.
No, that's fine. So this is part of is this part of HRT or no? Like tourism or no? Restaurant? Like what would event planning be? Like what would be
We
a
don't
degree?
do like the day, like where when I was
Yeah.
in Florida, like I would do like the day of events, like set up, getting the menus, alcohol and things like that. We're more of like the rental part, so the clients come to us
Yeah.
for what they want.
Gotcha.
We're not like day of coordinating, I guess.
Yeah, we can go see the end result, and we're hands on if they need us. But for the most part, they hire actual planners. We work a lot with, and it's big in Lake Placid. We don't have, it's slowly growing in Plattsburgh.
Yep.
But there's a lot of back and forth, I think, between the planners. They travel all over the place, and they do the day of coordinating.
Mhm.
And we kind of deliver the day before, and we're more so the tents.
Yeah.
So we're building the venues from
Probably
the ground
tents,
up.
tables, chairs.
Flatware,
Yeah.
Linen, you do linens, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's more of the, I guess, the necessities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what you need to put on a big party with all your friends. Like
Yeah.
like mass amount of people. You need all the stuff.
Party girls.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. So.
We throw great parties.
Do you that's good. But do you guys ever go to the parties that you? I mean, or go to the weddings?
Not as the wedding guests.
Yeah.
We can go see them, but
Yeah.
we don't like attend the
Like
weddings.
we'll see the installation and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys go right on site and do all that
Yeah.
too?
Yep. We have a team of guys. We have 2 guys, Ryan and Steve, that work in event operations, and they're the guys who bring the guys right onto site to install everything that's going up. For the most part, we are in the office a lot just because it's pretty busy during the season. But they would be the guys that are on site with you, building your tent, taking out your chairs, your tables, and then we can kind of go and see that.
Cool. So I guess, because you guys are relatively young, and for being in kind of that profession, which is cool, what do you guys find is like the most challenging part of it? What's the most rewarding part of it? What have you guys had to learn? Like, how's it kind of made you grow as individuals? Because I mean, you're still early on in your professional careers.
Yeah, but this is gonna be our first summer where we're actually like getting into like the actual events. Like we booked them from the start. When we came in towards the end of the season of the last event planner, so we kind of like jumped into it. I think the biggest like issue we have is just communication.
Yeah.
Is like trying to communicate
like
with our tent guys, our clients, and event planners because there's so many.
Like coordinating and
Yeah.
There's
It's
so
a
many
hub of
people and
a lot of like logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot goes into it.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, what about clients? Because obviously you guys are reaching out to clients quite often, right? I mean, actually, I say clients, but like people that are posting or other business to business. Do you guys do a lot of that business to business? Obviously, with the events that like the venues and stuff, you would. But what about other businesses?
we do a lot like
Or
the
is it most of it
fireworks.
in-house?
Yeah, we do a lot of like the local fireworks tents. We help with, even if we don't do tents, we do like actual events and stuff, and that would be with local businesses.
Yeah, like
whether
the
it's
festivals, like
Christmas
Mayor's Cup.
parties, Mayor's Cup, Battle of Plattsburgh, all of that sort of stuff we are definitely involved with. So
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what is your new big venture that you guys are doing? That we can talk about it because this is kind of
drum roll.
so this is kind of why I wanted to bring you guys on because I think you guys had reached out to me by email.
Yep.
And of course I thought it was a very good line as they just like basically boosted my morale by saying how awesome it was and how good. I don't even know if you guys actually. I guess you did. You
Yeah.
probably were somewhat following, but they mentioned the podcast and I think my Instagram. So it was like, so obviously they were good. You guys came at a good. That was
Got
a
your
good
email
sales.
off Instagram.
Good.
Yes.
There we go. So so that worked, and then here you are now on your first podcast. So tell us about kind of your big event that's coming up. We will be there, meaning Kavanaugh Realty. Potentially, maybe the podcast we've talked about. But so what do you kind of do the whole thing? Tell everybody about what's going on, when it is, and
So on Friday, April 26th, everyone listening now will be joining us, right?
this will come out either later today or tomorrow. So this will
Yes, so
be
you'll
plenty
all
of time.
get
Yes,
Yes.
plenty of time.
Get your tickets.
Yeah, they're online, so you can do it. But it is our 5th annual Adirondack Bridal Show. We have tripled it in size. We have 50 vendors attending. The awesome detail that we are now sharing is that we are putting one of our clear top tents up inside of the Crate Center. So everyone's gonna be able to actually see what could be your potential wedding venue. It's really cool and it's awesome once you're in the Adirondacks and using it for your special day. All of our proceeds are going to the North Country Cancer Fund, which is also pretty cool, and we will also have them there. So that's pretty special. Do you want to say the other stuff, the
okay.
good stuff, the
We
fun?
also will have a cash bar provided by Lakeview Catering. We're gonna be doing prizes, raffles. There's $1,000 cash prize to one of the brides or grooms joining. Let's see, there's
So what type? So bridal show. So obviously, what type of industries are going to be there?
literally everyone.
Yeah,
like
we have
so many local
A
businesses,
lot.
salons,
Travel
banks.
agencies. What else? We have Overtime Photo Booth, Studley Printing for your invitations, all that fun stuff.
Bunch of DJs.
DJs,
Yeah,
yeah.
DJs.
They'll all be getting on the mic every like 5 to 6 minutes doing advertisements, drawings.
Yep. And we have like Planet Fitness coming, which is cool to have them on board because everyone wants to get
Limitless
Well,
training
That's it.
too.
Sweating,
Yeah,
Hilarious.
limitless
sweating for the wedding, right?
Yeah,
Setting for the wedding.
florists, restaurants, breweries, everything you can really think of. We tried to like cross it all off.
Yeah, Valcor is actually donating a keg of beer, so we'll have some craft beer there
Oh,
too.
nice. Yeah.
Billy Goods is doing some samples.
Yep.
I'm looking for. I've never done a bridal show before, and you guys asked so nicely. So but I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. The couple people that I have going with me to this are looking forward to it. That like jumped right on the opportunity to go to a bridal show. So maybe there'll be. I don't know. It'll be fun. I just think it'll be kind of cool atmosphere. I think it's good that you guys are doing this. I think it's obviously a huge event. I mean, I know you kind of like read off the names and stuff, but any event that's this big takes months and months of preparation and a lot of time. So you guys, I know, have an extreme amount of investment in this and just your time and energy and everything else. But you guys are probably excited, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So,
we're very excited.
yeah. So this is good for you guys. No, so I think that's good. So we're gonna now so that's kind of the business thing. Anything else you guys want to kind of plug on that now? We'll plug it at the end. So we'll re-bring people back to remind them to go to it. Now, if somebody wants to go to that, like I said, you have to buy tickets to go?
Yeah, link in my personal bio, I have it. Do you?
I'm not sure, but I can put it there for everyone.
Yeah, that and then Party Plus Events New
And
York.
what we'll probably do too is remind me, we'll put it in the show notes. So when I,
Yeah.
like the notes of this, so then I can put I'll put how to find you guys and then, we'll do all that good stuff so people can reach out, at least right through the link and then reach out to you guys. Cool. So what I want to do, as I do with most of my guests, is I kind of talk about how we first met. And then I kind of go through my research with people that want to know. If I don't know the people extremely well, meaning like friends of mine for years, kind of like you guys, I've only known you guys for probably, a month or two? Maybe, maybe if that.
I guess our first in-person
Yeah.
interaction was North Country Connect, which
Yeah.
was a month or two.
Yeah, so basically, if I don't know, I usually just basically go through your Instagram and figure out, because I figure that's like a snapshot into your life. So, but North Country Connections is where I first met you guys in person. Actually, I had no clue who you guys were. I don't think I even knew. I think it was after we did the game, and then I like saw the names, and then I kind of put two and two together, and obviously you guys were together, so I'm like, it must be
Yep.
Anna and Steph. So, but you guys were great. So what's your experience so far? I mean, tell people what North Country Connections is, and what's your experience so far with that. So
we were
okay. Yeah, who wants to take which?
So North Country Connection, this is kind of, I guess, tailored for a lot of the local businesses that want to, I guess, connect with and network with other local companies and businesses. So we were signed up, and actually our owner and manager, he came down and he was like, do you guys want to do this? Which we had heard of Business After Hours, which Taylor Rental and Party Plus has been involved in that for a very long time. So the two of us were like, yeah, we'll go, we'll do this. So it's almost like courses that you can go and hear. Like the first course was kind of like the meet and greet cocktail party, where you meet all of your networking and new friends and
Classmates.
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
because we'll be
Seriously.
graduates at the end of this.
Yeah.
So you kind of get to get together, meet, talk business, talk personal life, and then you get to go to the courses, which one was by Tombo, I think that's it.
Yep, Tom.
Yeah, and then we just did another
Sea
one.
Green.
Yeah, Sea Green. We are.
Sea Green. So the two ladies here. Don't worry, we'll put it on the my Instagram post for the show. But they both, again, you guys know how to like really make me feel good. So they both came in with their Kavanaugh shirts on. So Sea Green is kind of an inside joke with that crew with Tom, but they are wearing Kavanaugh shirts, so we like that. I would try to make you guys wear that at the bridal show, but I realize you guys are gonna be dressed up, so I'm not gonna put that pressure on you.
More formal. Maybe we can pull it off.
I'm gonna be wearing mine, so that's fine.
Yes.
You guys, I'll have a couple in the back if you want to slip them
If
on
you got
quick.
a
So
stamp, I'll put a little cabinet stamp.
I got stickers. I got hats. I got pens.
Hook us up.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah, just we'll have some stuff there. So so North Country Connections. Yes, we met. Go Green. Do you guys like it so far?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like we've met you, like all the people, we've gotten some people from the bridal show from there.
Good.
Yeah.
How many people? I mean, there's probably like 25 people or so. I'm guessing
I
25.
feel like there's a new face every time.
Yeah,
There's like
I've
one
noticed.
or two new, and I'm like,
They
I
kind
don't
of
have their picture on my sheet.
yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
The cheat sheet. Yeah, I think I actually have that in this pile.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, like, how many of those people did you know prior? What percentage of people do you think you knew?
I knew one because I went to high school with her.
Okay.
I knew two, just from like Instagram.
Okay.
Like social media.
Yeah, so I
I
probably
had heard of a couple of the businesses itself,
Yeah.
but that was.
yeah. So it's good for you. Like I knew probably a third of the room, maybe. Like I kind of knew of you guys, but like actually knowing people, I knew about a third, and then there's probably a handful where I knew some, and there's probably 50% that I had no clue who they were.
Yeah.
So it's good. I think I like those kind of events. Have you guys? I'm gonna like peer pressure you into going to it. But have you guys been to Adirondack Young Professionals?
No,
You
both-
but I've
I've
heard
heard
of
of
You
it.
both should be going to that.
Yes.
I will
Yeah.
send you invites on the next,
Yeah.
the next
Isn't there
one.
something at the Twisted Carrot? I opened
That's
it
the next one.
yesterday.
Yep,
It
so
popped up in my Facebook feed.
That is actually, it's kind of, that's April 24th, Wednesday. It's also the same night as the chamber event after hours, so there's kind of a little conflict there. But you guys should be going to both of those. You really should.
Yeah.
What time? Like 7 o'clock or?
I think it's like 5:30. It's right after work. It's like 5:30 to 7-ish. Yeah.
Paul Smith's deliveries that day. That's why it's like sticking in my head. I'm like, wait.
Wow, that's good. If you remember
Something's
the
going
dates.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you girls should both go because I think, especially in your industry, I think you guys would benefit
Yeah.
tremendously.
Wait, we should make
tremendously.
a note. You got a note.
Yeah. I use your pen.
So April 24th, 2 days before your event.
Yes.
If you guys aren't already cram it, I mean, if not, we'll make sure you go to the May one.
Oh, it's monthly.
It's monthly.
Okay.
That one's a good one though because either one, the after hours is that day too, the chamber after hours, and then
Yeah.
the 80KYP, which they're both the same. 80KYP's younger because it's the young Adirondack professionals, but it's the same concept and it's really cool. I met some very good friends to that, so I think you guys will too. It's kind of like North Country Connections on steroids because you're going to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the chambers even more, so that's a good one. Are you guys doing the business expo?
Actually, I asked about that yesterday. That's funny you just said that. So Taylor Rental has like a whole bunch of different businesses.
Mhm.
Commercial sales, I think, are business supply, which is new in the city. It's growing pretty quickly.
They just delivered
Yeah.
paper
Yes.
yesterday.
Actually, everyone tells when we do talk about it randomly, everyone says I love the paper. Side note.
Yeah, I think it's in that box. I haven't opened
Yeah.
it yet. I just put it right in, but
They have, I think, two
They have-
tables.
they do,
Yeah.
yes.
So they'll be there, and they're actually, I think, on like the ads. I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
what-
it
yeah.
today. They sent the
Yeah,
chamber sent it. so-
Yep,
Yeah,
they're
it
on.
was the chamber.
I was looking
So-
at the booth setup. So right down the center.
Yeah, so
They got a
we
good one,
actually,
yeah.
I don't know if we're like late or not, but I just emailed about it yesterday because I was like, even if
There's-
we just go to go,
there's still
I feel
space.
like we should,
Yeah.
we're gonna pop in it eventually because
Yeah.
our coworkers and friends will be there. But yeah, we will be there. I don't know if we'll have a table there,
That's
but
fine.
we
Meet and
will
greet.
be making a
Come to the
appearance,
Cabinet
yeah.
booth. May or may not have the podcast going on that day too. So
Oh.
we'll see. We'll see. I got to see how much room I have. That's the problem. So to kind of get out of the business thing, we'll kind of do I think things that matter even more to you guys. So we'll start off. Anna, tell us about your furry friends.
So, not to exclude Milo, because he's great and we love him, but I have the doodles, and the doodles are the best thing to ever happen to me in my life.
Do they have their own Instagram account?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
I can give you the
Wait,
handle.
I don't think I follow
Yes,
them.
they have like 1,500 followers.
I gotta follow
They're
the doodles.
pretty-
I don't
pretty
even
great.
follow them. I don't think.
Don't follow the doodles.
Double the doodle. Double the doodle.
Double the doodle.
That's what it's called.
At me. Double the
Oh,
doodle.
I definitely don't follow it. I'll follow
Yes.
Jeez, okay.
That's them.
They
And they
look like
I'm showing pictures
twin
because
labradoodle. No,
they're golden.
golden doodles. Golden.
Labradoodles.
But they're white.
Yeah, sure.
They're cuter.
Yeah.
Aren't they
The
white?
doodles-
And they're
Yes,
and they're
yeah.
hypoallergenic,
Yes.
which is I'm a big fan of because I'm allergic
Yes,
to everything. So
That's kind of how it happened. My dad is actually allergic to dogs also, so the both of us have never had dogs. They're our first dogs ever. I think that's why I'm
Oh,
a little
really?
crazy about them.
yeah, you're a little bit, but that's fine. Like it's,
Yeah, I just can't help myself. And sometimes I just like, I'm not kidding guys, I just like stare at them and I'm like, oh my god, I love them so much. Like they're the best.
Because I check on your Instagram stories and every day it's just a picture of a golden
A
doodle.
Yeah,
So
and we call them the dudes. Sometimes I'll come into work and I'll be like, you're not gonna believe what the dudes did today.
they acted like dogs, but that's all right. That's
yeah, seriously.
at least they're not. You have cats.
No, I'm not a cat
Good.
person.
I hate cats. Sorry. Do you like
No,
cats?
I got a pity. Miss Millie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What kind?
She's
Yeah,
really
bring them
nice.
out. You can. I got a little Boston Terrier, so.
Oh.
Millie's
Millie
so
actually
pretty.
loves little
She's
dogs. She
cute.
likes chihuahuas.
What's her name?
She
Millie.
likes chihuahuas.
Well, Miss
Oh,
Millie.
actually, move that away.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
What's
You're good.
going on?
You're good.
You're
I just
so
had to. I
staticky.
just had to.
Yeah, it's just staticky.
Okay. Wait,
You're-
I'm trying not to go near it.
No.
Look, she
That's,
even
oh, that's
works-
even worse, but that's okay.
Oh,
He's like right over, so if you hear the buzz,
Oh,
Why
that's
do you do
that.
that's Steph's phone.
Why didn't yours
Oh.
do that?
Oh, it's a cute dog. Is it blue? Is that
Blue nose, yeah. But she's got a
So pretty.
champagne brindle, like,
brindle?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the is it blue brindle? It's cute. It's cute dog.
Yeah.
Champagne brindle for her.
Champagne brindle? That's the name?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So we have Millie and Milo,
Yeah.
both brindles. They're pairs.
She has another dog.
Yeah, I have.
a little
Oh.
kitty.
He's
too.
like neglected in my
how many-
obsession
how many-
category, I guess.
You're good. Do you have enough room there?
Yeah, I just like was.
Oh no, not that. Your headphones. I just pulled on this. I was like, like record, like I pulled out like that. I'm like, okay. So no, that's good. Now, how long have you had the doodles?
The doodles turn 4, 5, I think. I know, I'm like lacking right now.
And you told me those are your parents' dogs that you basically stole from them.
Well, so I lived with them when we got them. So I was living with them every day. And then I moved into my first house.
She's crazy.
All of a sudden I was like, Mom, we need a custody agreement. How are we going to go about this? Because it was like we were separating. Like all of a sudden I was moving a mile away.
Do you give your mom visitation rights?
She keeps them. I have the visitation rights.
Oh, she still kept them.
She ripped me off.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
So when she wants to go like be social and
Sorry,
do
Mom.
things,
Yeah.
and my dad, the two of them, like when they have plans to go on vacation, I get to take my doodles. But normally I get them like on weekends, that sort of thing, just because it's easier. And we don't want to mess their schedules up.
No, we do not want to do that.
They're creatures of habit, and
That's
they
it.
have feelings too, and they're homebodies. So, but they know my house is home too. So.
No, she literally has a sticker on the back of her car and it says
Yeah.
Doodles on board.
I've seen it.
And it's two
Yeah.
doodles side by side.
I followed you out one time and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yes, my best friend Grace.
Certified dog crazy. So.
Like 2 years ago, my best friend Grace, who lives in Connecticut now, she was driving behind me when she was visiting, and she gets out of the car and she looks at me and she goes, "That is the most mom sticker I've ever seen." And I was like, "But I'm a mom. That's what that is." Like, you know, baby on board, doodles on board.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's great. I don't mind doodles though. I think we could not do like lab or golden doodles. Golden doodles. Labradoodles are more brown, right? So like labs and doodles.
I mean, it depends.
I didn't know
You
there
can
was a
do
difference.
Yeah, well, I think it's-
doodles and copper color, black.
But it's what they're mixed with. So you get poodle mixed with
with a lab or a golden.
golden, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think would be cool because I like that. I like that fur, and it wouldn't make me sneeze, so I love it.
You know what my sister has? A Saint Bernard and a doodle. Named
Oh,
Hewitt.
mixed.
Yes, Saint
Really?
Bernard. He's this big
That's
lanky thing.
Really?
He's very weird.
I'm-
He's a big
He
head.
doesn't know how to be a dog.
Is it a big dog? Must be.
He's tall. He's
Yeah.
taller than George and Bitsy. Bitsy's tiny. Bitsy's
Is that the names of the doodles?
Yeah.
George and what?
George and Bitsy.
Oh, jeez.
But you know what Bitsy's real name is? Bitsy is her nickname. She was named Abita first. It's after the Purple Haze, the beer. That's courtesy of my sister also. But we call her Bitsy.
Wow.
I
George and
never-
Bitsy?
Yeah, and I never call her Abita. It's just Bitsy.
Our dog is named, actually this will tie in both. Our dog's name's Bob.
I love that.
But it's a
Wait,
little,
what is he, a pug?
no, Boston Terrier.
What are those? They are
Black and white. They look like they're wearing a little tuxedo.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
little.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
like,
I love
We'll,
it.
we'll Google a Boston Terrier. But
Someone
they're,
else do it. My
they're,
phone's
they're,
like,
they're black and white.
not
But his real name is Robinson Cano, because my wife was a Yankee fan. But then he got traded, so now it's just Bob. I mean, it's
I had a car today that had one of those.
Really?
Yes,
They're so
it was
cute. with
really
their
old.
ears.
It had-
yeah,
it had
your
gray.
ears pop up. Yep,
Yes.
yep.
That is so Illuminati.
They're
That's kind of
The
weird.
last car that I had before
We're
I left at Claire
big
Cross.
Illuminati people. You'll see us
Yes.
all the time, like with our hands up.
The Delta?
Illuminati.
Yeah.
flashing the Delta.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys did in the video? Was it flashing Illuminati signs?
Yes. Did you see
Wait,
that video?
what
I
video?
posted it when we were
No.
in California.
Oh, I thought you were talking. No, the
Oh.
thumbnail of this.
I
Oh.
posted a video. We
No.
were at a restaurant, or I don't even
No,
know.
you're
It was a
at a bar.
reception, yeah. And all of a sudden we look above the stage, and it's
It was
all
the-
of these Illuminati signs. And I have a video of Steph yelling, "It's the Illuminati!" And she has her hands in the air over everybody. And I was like, "Yes, this is our lifestyle."
What's the Illuminati? Tell me what it is.
Honestly, I feel like
Do you know, or is this just like?
I know like some things about the Illuminati, but when like
She's
coincidences.
pretty good at it. So like, explain it. Yeah, you're better at it.
So anytime a coincidence happens, I always just say Illuminati, even if I don't think it's Illuminati. But
Yeah.
like if like we wore the same shirt, I'm like Illuminati.
Right
But
now.
pretty much.
Just like that.
Right now.
She like gets all serious.
Yeah.
And she's like, Illuminati.
So the Illuminati is like a secret organization.
Yeah, like a conspiracy.
Do you know where there's Illuminati signs? All over the Lincoln Memorial.
They're on your dollar bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever read The Lost Symbol?
No.
Dan Brown?
Mm-mm.
Oh God, no.
Mm-mm.
You know, like Da Vinci Code. You ever heard?
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
of the Da Vinci
Vinci
Code.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that writer, phenomenal. I got one of his. I got one of his books on my bookshelf. I read the other one, Lost Symbol. Do you guys like reading?
Yeah.
I'll give you the book to read. It's long, but it's a.
Is it a good read though?
It's a
Like
thriller.
if I get bored.
Yeah, that's
It's
my
a
problem.
no, it's a thriller, and the chapters are very short. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're like
I
3 to
know
4
about
page
that.
chapters, and you
Oh.
fly through them. And it's one of those
You
deals
got
like
it here.
no, I can bring it to you guys though. I have it at my house. I have the one called Inferno, but he has a bunch of them. Like I don't know if they've made that into. I don't think they've made it into a movie yet, but it has to do with DC, which we'll get into that. But it has to do with DC, and it has to do with the
That's Illuminati.
Illuminati in
That's
DC.
Illuminati right
Yeah.
there. Do you
Yep.
see it?
The whole thing, and what's
Feel
crazy,
it?
what you'll like though about this is that they go into. I love. He's one of my favorite authors, but he's like a mystery thriller guy, but he's a historical thriller. So he brings a lot of. I actually have a lot of the. I might even have the picture version of the book, meaning a lot of the symbols and architecture they talk about, they actually show a picture so you can actually see what they're describing. He describes it very well, but like there's stuff obviously it's old history and art that we don't know. But for you, like I think you guys would love it.
Yeah.
It's a very quick read.
Sounds like something alley.
It's here's a sec. No, it's cool.
It's gonna like fly off the shelf out of my.
It's not this book, but okay. So
This is hefty.
yeah, so
Yeah, that's
yeah, but so the book I just handed her is
Years
if
later.
anybody's read Dan Brown, they have Da Vinci Code, Lost Symbol, Angels and Demons, Inferno. He's got a couple other ones. I've read almost. This is the only one I haven't read, and it's been sitting there for a few years. But just kind of like you can flip through like the
I
chapter.
swear I just saw chapter 79. There's a lot of chapters in
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah. It's a long book. There's probably 100
It's
chapters.
almost 300 pages.
But the chapters go really fast. There, Lost Symbol. You can read some reviews on it. At the top.
It look like these words. It just looks like it's easy.
It is. It's quick because it's like page turning. So there's always
Yeah.
cliffhangers. So you're like, it'd be like one that you read at night, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm so tired. But this next
Yeah.
chapter's only 3 pages. Next one's
Yeah.
only 4 pages. So like, you actually chip away pretty fast at it. It's a very good book. That's not the one I want you to read though. You can read that. I haven't finished it, but
I'll read the other one first.
Yeah.
Lost Symbol just because it's about the Illuminati.
Yeah, that one.
So you are into the Illuminati?
I'm not into it. I just know it's in the book. Like, no, I don't know
We're
really.
gonna get
Well, do
into
you?
it.
Yeah. I mean,
I
do
know-
you
I know-
believe in certain like conspiracies that
No.
are like
Uh,
shut it
We're
right now.
No, I think there's conspiracies. I don't like I think like the most famous ones were like the JFK, like being
9/11.
shot, 9/11. There's conspiracies like that, which I'm sure there's conspiracies. I mean, there's some that you kind of like,
Was it a coincidence? Was it not?
yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's things that happen, but then you talk
Wonder.
about like, is there is the government covering up a lot of stuff? Which I believe certain governments cover stuff up, especially with the way that what like information and news is put out. Like now it's more like anybody can put news out because like I'm doing this show with very minimal equipment and I can post this to anybody. Like anybody in the world can listen to this podcast. But which you guys should. But the we were talking about like the news back in the day. Like you take like up till probably like 2007, 8, 9 when the internet really became like
Big,
social
yeah.
media and all this stuff popped out. Like your news sources were what you saw on TV, which the people behind that are just telling whatever they want to tell you.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
I actually saw this thing on Netflix. It was a documentary based on how they. It's not in the Illuminati.
Okay.
No. I was gonna say you're like partially
I thought
into
something
it,
was
though.
like going by here. I
Oh
was
no!
like,
Oh,
I was like,
yeah,
this is
she-
it. I
yeah.
watch all those
She-
Netflix shows.
I'm like feeling like
Like,
creepy
is
now. Like
it-
the
is
lights
there-
gonna start flickering.
paranormal.
Like, do you feel
slash
it?
Illuminati?
Yeah. So no. So basically, what the documentary was on was how Facebook and Google can alter an election based off of what they show on searches. Because if they want to lean one way or the other, they can like if you search in, they can put a certain pro candidate at the top of the page, and then with positive stuff. But on that same page, you would have some negative stuff about the other candidate that will make you think the other candidate's the better one. But they're not really just giving you like an unbiased opinion. It's very biased. So
Yeah.
that stuff I believe is true. So when you talk like people that have a big enough platform, enough money, things like that, they can sway opinions and things like
Yeah.
that. So could conspiracies happen? 100%. I think like all those things could happen because it's what's being tossed out to us to look at.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's cool. It's a fiction.
No, me either.
It's a fictional book.
Yeah,
I
it
like-
sounds like I'd like it.
It's a fiction. It's a fictional book, but all the stuff that he talks about is historically true. Like it's all these artifacts and locations and like the Illuminati symbols on the Lincoln Memorial, or not Lincoln, Washington, right? Memorial.
I've seen it on the Lincoln.
Oh,
I think
Lincoln.
it's on the outside, like
It could be,
when
like-
you're walking up the stairs to go in to see like Abraham Lincoln.
Mhm.
I actually think there's parts on the walls inside of the memorial.
Yep.
But I also think it could be somewhere on the Washington.
Well, they started
It's
talking.
kind of all over.
Like
You
they
like
started
pay
talking,
attention?
yeah, in that book they started talking about like the Freemasons, like
Yes.
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 the Masonic.
There's one that
Yes.
comes into Clarence Carl's because like my
Really?
boss is
Yeah,
in
because
the
they
Illuminati.
have it's almost like
yeah.
it's almost like a delta symbol. They
Mhm.
tie both of those in,
That's so cool.
Yeah.
but it's freaky. Like when they start talking about the memorial, Washington Memorial. So a lot of like the structure of that, even though it's very simple, it's an obelisk, which is like a pyramid on top of a stack pyramid, which is a symbol. And they also talked about the cornerstone of the piece is a big thing of Masons, the Masonics, because Mason is art or a
I
stone.
gotta send you that YouTube or that Netflix
There's-
documentary
Yes, I
on all
need
of
to
it.
see
It
it,
talks about all that.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. So that book is basically the whole thing, but he does it into like a historical thriller based on that. Some of the stuff, like the Da Vinci Code, the whole premise was that Jesus was actually Mary Magdalene gave birth to Jesus, so Jesus actually has a bloodline.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. That it wasn't just like he never had kids, but there's actually a bloodline that you can follow, and they believe the Holy Grail is actually to follow Jesus' bloodline.
You know,
There's
it's
a
crazy.
lot of like religion type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it kind of all like loops together. But the Mary Magdalene, my mom is a big Da Vinci Code person.
Phenomenal. That's a phenomenal book too.
She
Yeah.
went to France. I
Yeah.
don't know,
In the
6
Louvre.
years ago,
Yeah.
and she went
The pyramids. Funny.
not even. She went all over France with her best friend Dana, and they did all the like behind the scenes Mary Magdalene tours where like her body was supposed to be because she reads so many books about Mary Magdalene. She's
Oh,
a big
cool. Yeah.
she's a big fan of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But she did like one of the coolest tours, and the picture she came back with, it was so cool.
I think it's awesome. That's why I like Europe. I think Europe has a lot of history, but you guys would, I'm telling you, would love those books. It's like,
Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, like, it's a long book, so like, I mean, I don't know how fast you guys read or how much you read, but even just kind of reading a couple pages a day, or like at work, you can easily do a couple chapters, like, but it like keeps your interest, because it's very like fast moving.
Yeah,
Los Symbol's good though, it's DC, so.
love to
Yeah.
see.
So, and, well, actually, is there any more conspiracies about the Illuminati that you guys are
I mean,
believers in?
I feel like it's all over.
Yeah, and they
It's-
kind of
it's
just
like-
come up, like, it might come up.
I
throughout
feel like
this,
since
yeah.
we both realized though that we're big Illuminati people, it's happened a lot more, and the two of us will something will happen, and we like cut our eyes at each other, and we'll be like, Illuminati, it's here, like it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Which explains the ghosts that you're talking about?
Yeah, big ghost believer.
Oh, gosh.
Spirits. I don't call them ghosts. That's rude.
Spirits?
Yep.
Are you like a medium? Median?
No, but I
But
know.
she
What?
knows mediums?
Medium, like
I know.
UN?
I've been to a medium locally,
Which
which
is
was
crazy.
an insane experience. But like it was amazing. I feel like it was perfect to go to for like that point in my life. But my mom has a friend. It's her best friend that went on the Mary Magdalene tour. Maybe she's
This
listening
is
right
so
now because I'll share this on
connecting.
She
Facebook.
probably is, yeah.
She does she's very like comforting in a way though to talk to because she does very strange you can't make it up. She's just very spiritual. She owns her own company called Velvet Gypsy, and she sells these Cantha blankets, and she like believes in blessing them and everything with energies and stuff.
I have to get one, so.
Yeah, and they're so, if you look at their Instagram, you can see like the colorful patterns and everything, and they're from I think India. I think I have that right. But she's big into like everything about spirits and believing in it, and I feel like I just find like everything she says
Are they like,
fascinating.
is that better than like a fortune teller?
Yes, because she doesn't like sell her fortunes.
Yeah.
She will be sitting in a room with you, and all of a sudden she'll be like, you have like to a stranger, she'll be like, you have somebody that wants to like communicate
Speak to
with you.
you.
They're over your left shoulder. Like that's
freaky.
she did that to one of my friends.
Like,
Someone's
yeah.
here and they need to speak to you. It was someone in her family. Do you want to know the message? And my friend was like, no, I don't.
That's creepy.
Because some people just don't.
I don't
That
think
was-
I wouldn't.
Some people don't find comfort in it, but I feel like in the situations that I've been in with like loss and stuff, I did find comfort in it. But the local medium I went to here, I never knew her. I had never met her before. I didn't give her my name.
Mhm.
I just scheduled the appointment. You go and right away you sit down and it's like the stuff that she writes on a piece of paper. She knew so much about me and my personal life that I had never even told like my very best friends, that I had chills, and she knew stuff about my grandpa, my grandma, because my grandpa had passed away, so he was like speaking to me. He passed away when I was in kindergarten, and the stuff that she was telling me, like I didn't even know about, was like crazy, chill worthy, and way too coincidental.
Now, when you do this stuff, do they get like, how do they get to the point where it's very detailed? I mean, like I've been to a fortune teller before, and they start out being like super broad to the point where I'm like,
Yeah.
you could
It's-
probably like,
Google
No.
that or
yeah,
like,
well,
see-
not even like Google, but they're like, oh, I see that you have like, someone that you love quite a bit, like, okay, like like that could be anybody, your
Yeah.
parents, your spouse, something like that. Like they always like talk about these big things, and then you're kind of, as you answer it, they kind of like gel it more towards you. But if they're like legit, like, hey, what about this, or hey,
Yeah.
or like your grandfather, and she didn't know your grandfather passed away. She goes, I think your grandfather passed away when you were young, right? And you'd be like, yeah, and be okay, well, like that would be a little more.
So-
She's actually being more detailed, where it's like, oh, okay, that seems to me a little more legitimate than.
This will probably freak you out. This is how I know that there were several different things that she knew about that were way like past the point of anything. I would sit down with my like girlfriends or my parents, be like, hey, I want to tell you about this time, like that sort of thing.
Mhm.
A big one for me was that so I have a little grandma and a big grandma.
Okay.
My little grandma is the one we lost my little papa when I was in kindergarten, so I didn't get a lot of time with him.
They're just short people.
No, well, yeah, we.
Oh,
when
that's
we
what I
were
meant.
little,
Like not like dwarfs, but like there's a tall,
Yes.
tall grandparents. Okay, like
So
mom's
one
side,
is
dad's
tall
side.
and one is short, and
Yeah.
now my tall one has actually like shrunk over the years, and they're like almost the same height. So now people are like, "Big grandma, little grandma, that's so rude," and we're like, "No, we picked it off the height."
We got like a medium.
that's how we
medium
like
grade.
call them.
Yeah.
Um,
Average.
My little papa, when he passed away, my grandma and my papa, his biggest upset when he passed away was that he said to my grandma verbally, he was like, "I'm never gonna see the girls graduate."
Mhm.
That was his thing.
Yeah.
He was always very upset. My grandma to this day gets very emotional about it because she gets very emotional seeing any of us graduate. There's 4 girls in my family. Well,
Oh.
that side.
Like
Grand-
sisters.
No.
Oh, okay.
I have a sister, and then my 2 cousins, Christy and Courtney, they're sisters.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when I was at this medium, I was getting ready to graduate a week later. I did not want to walk in graduation. I did not want to do it for college. I was just like, this is ridiculous. I did it for little grandma. But I never like vocalized it to anybody but my direct family that I'm gonna walk in graduation, because I didn't want to deal with all that, like, oh, we gotta take pictures, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
It was very quick and simple. But she said to me, your papa wants me to tell you that when the music starts playing, he's gonna be with you on the side.
This is the medium.
Yes, but here's where it's weirder. So I go to my grandma's that night, and I'm telling her all of the things he had said that I need to tell her. He had messages for her. My dad was very caught off guard by how accurate it was for him. And she looked at me and she said, it's when the music starts playing that I always get emotional at the graduations. It's like the music was
Oh
like
wow.
it.
Yeah.
And then another thing she said was, she gave me an instance from one of my high school friends who had passed away, and I didn't remember it. And then all of a sudden, he described the T-shirt he was wearing, and I had pictures from that day.
Oh.
And later, when I got home and I had the 5 pages of front and back notes, I was going through my camera roll, and I found the picture of that day. And he's holding a kitten, and we found a kitten on the side of the road, literally, and it followed us everywhere. He picked up the cat, and I took a picture of him, and he has the shirt on. And then I realized, oh my god, this was actually something that happened. So then I was like, immediate chills, because I was like, you can't make that up. Like,
No.
I had forgotten about it. I couldn't connect
This person
it.
is locally.
Yes.
Local.
I'll give her her
Oh,
name after
yeah.
I want it, because she does it like.
No, that's fine.
yeah.
I'll get it after.
Are you into that though? Like you would want to know like things like that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like you do.
I don't know.
I feel
I'm
like
like
that's
curious
what
because I think
yeah,
it's kind of
yes.
like
It's crazy.
what I heard this thing the other day. What would you rather? Which one would you pick? When you die or how you die? What would you rather know?
Oh my god, I get so scared of dying.
That's freaky,
my
right?
I would
biggest
want to know
fear.
how. Like,
How really? I don't know. Like, I
if
don't even
got
know what.
murdered, I would want to be like expecting when it happened.
Yeah.
Like counting down the time,
Yeah,
like
like-
watching the stopwatch.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know which one's worse. I mean, maybe if you like know when you die, then
I
you're just
don't
like,
think I could
screw it. I got
either.
30 more years. I'm gonna do this, and that. But I mean,
But then I feel like I'd be freaked out, like the
Yeah.
year of, like
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would want to know when.
yeah.
I'm petrified of dying. That's why I don't.
Really?
Think
I used to get
I'm
so scared,
I get like
yeah.
very, and you know what else? I can't think of like people I know. Like one day when they're not here.
Yeah.
I think about it, and I get so.
I get
sad.
I get more nervous with people dying than myself. Meaning, like if I can't control like that. You know, I can't control
Yeah,
it.
I
So like
agree with that.
I'm big on like if I can't control it, I don't need to talk. Like I don't need to think about it. It's just
Yeah.
not. It's like
I can't
just
think about it.
it's like worrying stuff out of my control. Like obviously like to risk level. Like if I'm gonna go do a certain thing that's more riskier, I'm kind of probably flirting with that. Probably go overstepping my boundaries. But just like day to day stuff, like.
Yeah.
Be like you getting in like a car accident, like you really can't control that. Like you can control yourself, but like if somebody just like runs a red light, you have no control. So,
Yeah. I know, and
yeah,
it's so
but-
weird to think it could just happen.
well, I think it's more when other people pass away because I
Yeah.
don't do well with death. Like
No,
I'm very like
neither.
I mean not to say everybody does, but like I get very like I guess awkward. Like I don't know, you don't know what to say. Like you go to a wake and you just don't know what to say because
Yeah.
it's awkward and it's just like, dude, it sucks. Like I don't know.
It's not fair.
Yeah, like you just go and it's like you don't know what to say and like you feel like crap. And I know like the wake and stuff's more for the family, but like I don't even know if I want to be. I mean, I guess it's good at a wake because it's more comforting with people. Like that's the reason why they do wakes because it's comforting with friends and family kind of thing, like community. But I'm very awkward at it. Like I don't know. It's just something I've never been good at. Which I don't think anybody's good at death. You know, I don't think. But it sucks. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping like modern medicine allows us to live to like 200
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
and
cool.
not look like you're like 200 and look like a little
Yeah, you
raisin.
gotta get some Botox along the way.
Yeah, like you hit like 100 and they just give you like a package. Like okay, it's gonna like at least keep you looking somewhat decent
Yeah.
for. Yeah, because at a certain point it's like, ooh, jeez, let's just stop there. No, so that's the medium. Is it a medium?
Medium.
Okay, I didn't know if it was median,
Yeah.
medium.
And I've always
It
just
is,
spelled it. Yeah, I think
With
it's
the
medium.
UM?
I've
I
always called
never-
it medium.
I think it is.
Okay.
I
I'll
never
have
knew
to
too.
Google it. I've always, that's like wrong if I'm saying it wrong because I've always been like, you
It's-
should go to a medium. Like,
I think it's
That's
medium.
pretty
I think like
solid.
middle person, like a medium between
Yeah.
Yeah.
like two. Yeah, so that makes sense. I
Yeah.
think you're right. No, that's kind of that's intense.
It's pretty cool though. I just
It
didn't
is.
know that.
No,
I'm
that's
a big
fine. That's fine.
spiritual believer.
Except for you were scared of the porcupine.
What?
You were scared of the porcupine.
What's the
Oh yeah, I
porcupine?
was scared. Okay, the
Literally
Porcupine
cried.
Inn is an amazing spot to go.
It's not funny.
Wait,
We
wait,
had
the what
so
is?
much fun.
The Porcupine Inn in Saranac Lake.
Oh, I saw the photos the other day.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's an amazing venue. He does weddings actually. He's gonna be at the show. You'll meet
Cool,
Fred
okay.
and Connor and a whole bunch of their
Okay,
friends from
cool.
Saranac Lake.
Cool.
We went for it was I guess almost like a site
This
visit.
is my second time staying there. I stayed
Yeah.
there like during Saranac Lake Carnival. It was so much fun, but
Okay.
So
it was not haunting then.
yeah, he really got us. He got us pretty good.
So do the background of like tuberculosis. and all that.
So the background of
Anna's really good at like telling like the deets.
It's like, I
TV.
just-
Okay, so here's the
My
TV.
mom is gonna listen to this and be like,
Will your mom listen to this?
oh yeah, I'm gonna make her.
Really?
I'm
Okay.
That's part
sending it to all my friends.
I know,
Good,
that's
good for
part of
you.
me and my
Did-
mom.
Would you guys listen to it back?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay. I wasn't sure because sometimes like people don't like their own voice.
Oh,
and
I'm gonna be sending it to
'Cause
him.
you're hearing it now the
I'm
whole
gonna
time.
quiz him.
Yeah.
See how much you actually like
Yeah,
pay
did
attention,
you
right?
pay attention to my podcast?
Yeah.
Um,
What about porcupines?
Brady.
yeah, seriously, Brady, this one's for you. And I'm gonna do it for Dylan too.
Edie.
So yeah, we stayed at I guess it's a cure cottage, but not.
But it was for one
one
person.
and I guess he was wealthy. He said.
Yeah.
So it was
It's
kind of
like a
built
mansion.
for him to be cured of tuberculosis, which
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Everyone when
yes.
you know the backstory, like everyone when they had it came up to Saranac Lake because of the cold air.
from
No.
Like from
New
the
York
city and-
Manhattan,
no, I
yeah,
know this.
they all
Okay.
were like transported to
because the air is,
Saranac Lake.
I guess,
This
so
was
dirty
like
back
what
then.
time period is this?
Shoot, what
Like
18?
18s?
It's got
It obviously had
Something in the 18s, but it came back. It was gone for like a few years and then it came back.
Well, it's probably not even. There probably was legitimacy to that, meaning like being in the cold kind of deal.
Yeah, so they would like move their beds out on the balconies and they would stay there like overnight, like covered in blankets. And then so this house that we stayed at, he had like 8 different rooms. So he had like his sunroom, his morning room, like the room that he slept in. So they would like move him to each balcony. And look at
It
the
may even
date.
be like 1904.
I'm
It's
trying
17th and 18th century listed on here, but this is also Wikipedia, so
So it's fact. That's fair. It's fact.
it's telling me like all of them. Starting in the 1700s, it got really bad.
And this
then
was
it went
the
right through
Porcupine
1800s.
Inn, or just tuberculosis in
No.
general?
No, it's called
It's
the
called the
Porcupine Inn.
Okay. Okay.
And so this guy built his own cure cottage, literally. And when you go through Saranac Lake, have you ever noticed the big mansion-looking homes that have the big porches with the windows?
I probably have. I haven't been. Saranac Lake's like one of those places. I've been to Lake Placid a bunch, but
Yeah,
Saranac
it's
Lake
like- it's
probably
so
like
cool.
10% of what I've been to Lake Placid.
I like Saranac Lake too. But you'll probably notice these houses. They look German to me. Like, I don't know why, but
There's
like,
a lot of like German Swiss architecture up there. Yep.
they look that way to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but ever since I've been a kid. That's how I see them.
Yeah.
But you can pick them out because those big porches are the rollaway locations for the beds, and the people could go out there and they'd keep them out there like all day to breed. Because the fresh air is what helped cure the tuberculosis. And so we arrived at the porcupine for our professional site visit. I guess everybody can
This
imagine
is
how this
recently,
goes.
right? This
Yeah.
This is like
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, so Steph and I roll up with our bags for one night, and Fred was awesome. He had 2 amazing rooms for us. They were like fixed up. He had all the works in the bathroom. Like it looked great. And
Mind you, I've already stayed there, so I'm like, yeah, Anna, this place is awesome. Stoked.
Yeah.
Like, I had such a good time here. We drank the whole time while I was there, so that's probably why I didn't like.
That's all right, yeah. Adds
you
to
were,
it.
you were just done by the time you went to bed.
So I was like, yes, round 2, it's gonna be so much fun.
So we continue our night, and he made us an amazing dinner. And so then, as time goes on, we're spending time in the living room visiting with him, and he is telling us ghost stories about like the history of the house, everything going on. And then it comes time for us to go to bed.
Were you guys flashing Illuminati signs all night?
No, I was like really scared. I was like, I will drive home to Plattsburgh. Like, I'm getting really nervous, and like, it's not okay.
So we get up the stairs to go to bed, and Steph looks. I'm like quiet because I was like, oh my god, like I have to go to bed now. Like.
Oh, also when we first got there,
Is anybody else staying in this building?
yes, Fred and Connor live there.
Yes.
Okay, but there's not a lot of. How many rooms are there?
There's like 20.
I don't think 20.
But you guys
say
don't-
like
But
8
there's
guest
rooms
rooms.
upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs.
Too.
But
I
you
think
guys
you
were the
only-
only 2
Yes,
guests that
it was
night.
just us and them.
Okay.
I was in his morning room.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was in the room with the tricycle.
So there's
I
a
forgot what it's
mantle.
called.
There's
It's
a
like
mantle
a
in my
Stephen
room.
King book or something.
Yes, there's a mantle in my room with a picture of the guy that lived there that died. So
Looking at us.
right when we
When he
get
gets his
there,
word.
when we first
Oh,
got there, I
that's
was
creepy.
like, okay, I'm just gonna turn this around. Like I'm just like, how am I gonna turn this around? Because like that's kind of
what-
creepy. I wasn't scared or anything at that point, but as I turned around, I was like, I wonder if I'm like messing with the spirits or something.
So we both are like, we can't go to bed. Like it was like 12:30 at night.
Yeah,
too.
I
we
was
were
like-
up very late.
I
We had to be
said-
up the next morning to go around Lake Placid and Saranac Lake, and the 2 of us were both like looking at each other like, what do we do? So Steph over here looks at me and she goes, you have to sleep in my room. So I like go get my bags.
I'm
I
like,
move
I
into
can't
her
do
room.
this.
So the 2 of us, 2 peas in a pod, we end up having a sleepover versus staying in our 2 nicely
Did
furnished
you guys
rooms.
actually sleep or just like eyes open?
Oh,
like
I
looking around?
knocked out.
Yeah, we
I
were
was
both
so tired.
exhausted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we had worked all day, gone to Saranac Lake, and then we had like dinner. We had champagne with them, and
But she was in the room, so I was like, this is perfect. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine. I'm not scared.
but we both passed out quickly. The middle of the night comes. It's like technically not middle. It's like early morning now because we went to bed in the middle of the night. Like 3:30. She sits up in the bed, and you know when you're like awake and you're moving because you just have to like readjust, but
Yeah,
you're like
yep.
kind
I
of
don't do
there.
this stuff ever. Like, I'm not like a sleep talker or anything.
She sits up in the bed, which I felt her sit up because we're in a king size bed together because we're so scared to sleep on our own. And then I see her sit up like a haunting figure, and she goes with a monotone voice, "He's in here."
Oh, Jesus.
I like look around.
Wow,
I'm like,
okay.
what? So I think she had to be like, in my head, I'm like,
Do you remember
she's-
doing this?
No. Wait until the morning. I'm like, what?
So I like wide-eyed, I'm like, oh my god, and now I have to go back to bed. So then in my head I'm like, who's here? Like, who is here? So I look at her and I go, who's here? She slowly lays herself back peacefully into her pillow, and I'm like, what just happened?
Which, what is wrong with her? Like, if she did that to me, I'd be like, wake the heck up.
You didn't
right
wake her
now.
up?
What do you
No,
mean
because
someone
I
is
was
in
quiet.
here?
You know what I felt like after it happened though? Like pins and needles were going into my hands because I was like crippled. I was like, who is in here? Like, what does that even
No,
mean?
I'd be like,
So I rolled
Yeah.
her over and I
Oh
cover
my
my
God.
face when I sleep. So I literally was like hiding under the covers. And I woke up the next
Because
morning.
that will help. I mean, being under the covers helps,
And
yeah.
that's how I sleep anyways. I cover my face up. So I'm like sitting there, but I just remember my hands being like all tingly because I was like, oh my god, like what does that mean? And then the next morning I wake up and we're getting ready for our day, and I like look over at her and I'm like, do you know what you did last night? And she's like, no, what?
She's like, yeah, she woke up all good.
like, I feel so
Like,
rested.
Yeah, and I tell her, and her eyes got huge, and she was like, are you kidding me? But the 2 of us were both like, great, this
I
is
was
great.
just so mad that she didn't wake me up. Like,
But in my head, I was so freaked out that I felt like waking her up and having 2 of us freak out, it would have just been
oh,
overwhelming.
I would have been like,
And
Fred,
then-
get your butt down here right now. We need help. Something's
Oh
going
my
on.
god.
Yeah,
That-
so that was our, that's
Wow.
like the story of the porcupine with
And
us.
you don't sleepwalk or anything?
No, I've sleptwalked once, and we have like these crabapple trees in the middle of a field, like in between my parents' house and like the other like houses, like a housing development. And I guess my dad was up one night at like midnight eating cereal, and I like walked out. I remember like running across the field, like with my dog was like following me. I stood like at the edge of the field and just like looked at the houses. I guess I came back, put a bunch of crab apples like in my shirt, came back, went in the living room, dumped them behind the couch, and went back to bed. My dad didn't wake me up or anything the next morning. He's like, come here. I'm like, what? He's like, last night you literally went and picked up all these apples and they're behind the couch. I was like,
That's almost freaky.
that's like the only time that like anything weird like that has ever happened.
That's like bad sleepwalking too. Like
I like was outside. I remember running in the field with my dog and looking at the houses, and then
Yeah, I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid. I don't think I've sleepwalked in years. Like, I mean like 15, 20 years, but I've never gone, I don't think outside. I think one
and
time,
like got things.
yeah, that's weird.
carried apples back.
Yeah.
Souvenirs for your trip.
Could've been 100, I don't know. She
They're
gave
all-
them to your dad if he's eating
They're all
cereal.
like rotting and nasty because they're the ones that
The
are
crab
on the
apple,
ground,
yeah. All worms in them.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
man.
funny.
Yeah, okay, well, you freaked out everybody that's listening to this, so, but,
Big
Well,
ghost people.
Wait,
Yeah.
were you about to say that you sleepwalked
no, I used to, like when I was a kid. Not,
like a lot?
I remember a couple times doing it at some point, I think I tried at one point to like put a, I don't know if that was me, I don't want to say it was me. I don't know, but putting a mattress, like trying to put a mattress outside the window.
Oh
But
my
I don't think I
God.
did, I don't think I did
It's
that.
so weird how things get like all like when you're younger, you're like, I don't know if I did that or if like my friend did that when you're like trying to tell stories.
Well, I remember, yeah, it might have been a friend. I don't know. It's been so long that it kind of blurs together. I remember one time I woke up, my back was like killing me. I'm like, what the heck happened? I got up, like, I told my mom, like, Mom, why is my back so sore? She goes, yeah, you fell out of bed last night.
What?
So like, I fell out of bed and like, I think I landed on like a garbage can or something. And I like, I've always been, I grew up like really close to a train track, so I was always fine like
Weird.
sleeping.
Weird.
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 Weird. So, yeah, so I ended up getting like this bruise on my back, and like I didn't know what it was for the longest time. But no, I've slept walk. I think one time I was spending the night at my friend's house, and I think I walked into his parents' room in the middle of the night, and they like walked me back. I just like walked in, and then they're just like, and they just like brought me back to bed. I was like, yeah, I think I was little at the time. I was probably like 10 or 11.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's been a long. I mean, it's been a long time since I've slept walk. So a couple topics that I want to go over. We'll let Steph go on this. Why are you a Dodgers fan?
I'm from LA
Are you?
originally, Santa
Really?
Monica. Yeah.
Were you born out there?
Yep.
Oh, cool. How long did you live out there?
Until I was like 8, then came up, went to Peru. My brothers were both born there too.
Oh,
They're now
are
there
your
again.
brothers older, younger?
Younger.
Okay.
They're the ones that did all my photography on my Instagram.
Which is really cool too. Are they photographers?
Yeah. Nick and Pat Demarais.
Oh, very good. Yeah, the one photo that Steph has that you're doing. Oh, you're doing the LA sign.
Yeah.
The Dodger sign. And is there fireworks going off?
So Nick actually edited those in, but
Okay.
I was at the Santa Monica Pier.
Okay.
So like with the lighting, with the Ferris wheel and
It
everything,
looked
was,
really
like,
cool.
It was easy to
Yeah.
like Photoshop it in there.
Okay.
Sorry Nick, if I don't know if I'm supposed to like say that it was edited in there.
That's fine.
It's okay.
Yes.
Everyone will just follow their Instagram.
That's fine. It's it's really cool. Yeah, I'll actually follow their account because I'm sure they. I like
Yeah.
photography.
They come home like during the summer, so if you ever like want anything done or anything,
Oh, really?
It's down to like collab.
Yeah, they're
Didn't
cool.
they do stuff for the Adirondack Coast?
Yeah.
Ooh, 80.
They actually
80
did.
posts.
I'll show you the video.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
on their Instagrams. That's
Oh,
how
I'll
I
check it
first
out.
saw like their videos. And
Yeah.
actually, you're in it, aren't you?
The one of
Did they,
you
did
I
they,
am.
did they
I
make,
am.
did they make that workout video you did?
Yes.
That was-
yeah.
that was
for
cool,
Chuck
too.
Barbell. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought yeah, no, that's
yeah, they
phenomenal.
actually won it, which was cool.
Yeah, I saw you with the big check.
Yeah, well, I gave it to them because like
Oh.
I was just in the video.
Oh, there you go. That's right. You gotta have like a model or something in a video. But no, that was really cool. So I think they're very good. There we are, the train.
You're just...
You want to go look at it?
Yeah, I kind of do.
You go peek. I mean,
Okay. I
that
was
might
about
be
to-
quick. That might be the Amtrak.
Good thing
Oh
I
no,
did
stop
it.
it. Stop it.
I almost ripped out of here like.
Take your headset
Taking
off.
the train from here, I'm not good at it.
You know,
I
you know what it's
look at
like.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Were you the one that asked me if it was a live train? Was that Steph?
No,
Must
I
have
said
been
to
Steph.
shake your. I asked you to
Oh,
shake
shut.
your
Yeah.
thing.
Steph goes, is this a real train track? I'm like, yes.
Oh my gosh, this guy's like hanging off it. The conductor.
Yeah, that's what they
He's
do.
like.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, jeez.
gosh.
That's so funny.
That's alright. So
There's 2 of them on it.
There's probably like 4, Steph, to be honest. Go poke your head out there and really look.
Go
There's
say
a ton.
hello.
So Steph has now left the studio. She's now looking.
Did she just say hi?
She's greeting the people off the train.
Wow. I thought it was gonna be more like old style train.
There's
like a
there's
subway.
some. There's
It
like
looks like a subway.
that's the Amtrak. That's the Amtrak. They have
It's the one that carries the people.
yeah, but there's Canadian Pacific where they do like
Like
cargo.
it's cargo?
And that's the one that when you're driving through the city of Plattsburgh, you stop and you're
Left,
stuck there for like
Yep.
10
That's
minutes
it.
while it
Nope,
just cuts through the city.
Actually, the only good one is if you come down here because you turn before the tracks. If you had to go to the turtle, you're screwed because you can't go past the tracks. Like here, you
Yeah.
turn right before. The other thing, if you guys want to miss the tracks, depending on where you are, go down Cumberland Ave. Or go down Saley
I've done
Cove.
that.
Yeah, because you go over the tracks instead of across.
You know
I'm
where
trying
I
to think
always
where
get
they are,
stuck? I get stuck
Down-
at
down by
the
the
Kenny's on
boulevard.
Veterans Lane because my parents live on Bailey
We're
Avenue.
Georgia
Often north.
Pacific.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always
That's the
right there.
worst.
I always pull right up to it, and it's at the point where there's so many cars around you, and you just can't you literally have to turn into someone's house to turn around, and
Yeah.
I just feel bad doing that, so I don't.
Just
So
sit
I
there.
suffer.
That's when you just scroll through Instagram.
I do every time.
Yep. So Dodgers, so you're a big Dodgers fan. They
Dodgers.
obviously had a couple good
We won
seasons.
opening day, had the 8 home runs record. First team to do that.
You're like
opening
a
day.
baseball nut then. You follow
Yes,
it.
my dad has coached it. He's coached.
Is he a Dodger fan too?
Yes, diehard. So is Anna's dad, which is
My dad.
super
Oh, cool.
Illuminati / weird.
Yes, they knew each other
Yeah.
also.
They went to high school together, but
Yeah.
crazy because there's not a lot of Dodger fans
No.
up here.
She's the only other one that I know, really. Her family.
I don't
My
know.
dad doesn't.
And we're diehard.
I don't know any Dodger fans. Like I mean, legit Dodger fans. Not like they wear a baseball cap because it looks cool.
Yeah,
like
everyone wears the LA.
like an actual Dodger fan. That's cool. I know. I didn't. I've never been to Dodger Stadium. I've been to Anaheim,
Oh, cool.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah,
Which is the
I
dumbest name
actually
ever.
was I at that one?
They have a cool one. They have like the rock formation out in the outfield. I had to
no,
go to a
was in
couple-
Arizona when I went to the last game.
Yeah, I had a couple trips out in Anaheim, so we went there. I've been to LA because we flew to LAX, but I never went to. I don't know where the Dodger Stadium is in relation to the airport. Because usually the airports are kind of on the side; they're not right in the city.
Yeah, I've gone when I was younger, so I don't. To
you-
Dodger Stadium.
Have you
but-
been back to Dodger Stadium?
No.
Oh,
The last game that I went was last summer-ish in Arizona during spring training.
gotcha. Do your brothers go?
Yeah,
That's
because
cool.
they live in Huntington Beach now. So.
They went to Huntington Beach. I went to Newport Beach.
Okay, right there. It's
It's
basically the
similar.
same. It's all Orange County.
Yeah, it was Orange County.
Yeah.
It's beautiful down there.
Yeah. We
I-
were just there for the ARA show, so we got to see them.
Where is that?
It was in Anaheim this year.
Yeah, that's right, Anaheim.
Yeah. So we got to go see our brothers and stuff.
Oh, cool. It's near Disney. Even though I never
Yeah.
went to Disney.
And it's
Disney
super
was
clean
right
there.
next
Is it
to
Disneyland? Disney
Land.
World? Disneyland?
Disneyland, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Universal there, is there?
I thought
I've never been to Disney, so I don't.
I haven't been to Disney, but I
Ever.
went to Universal.
I used to go
No,
monthly when I
And
was in
Harry
Florida.
Potter
Really?
World is the best.
I babysat for one of the golf pros at the resort that I worked at, and they had seasons passes. So they'd go to
Is-
Epcot for.
Is it worth going?
Yes.
Even at
You would really like Epcot. Do you like to drink and do kind of it's like a casual scene. Actually, you can get pretty trashed at Epcot, but they do a lot of concerts and stuff. And they have drink around the world or whatever.
No, I mean I've never been.
But
But-
if you've never been, it's definitely one of those.
Is Epcot the one with all the countries? They said
Yes.
that's the best one. I've heard that from multiple people.
But you should definitely do probably all the parks, like Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, if you've never gone, just to.
I've never been to any.
You have to go.
I've been to Orlando and I've been
Yeah.
to Anaheim. I've read all the Harry Potter books.
It's
But-
and you would be all over it. That is
That's
I hate
Universal,
roller
right?
coasters. Yes,
Yeah.
that's in Universal. I hate roller coasters. I was so mad at my mom. We were fighting because she made me go on the 3D Harry Potter roller coaster. I was throwing fits. I probably hangry, honestly. And we got on that ride, and my mom, the thrill seeker herself, was like, "Oh, because my dad is the same as me. He gets nervous with that stuff, and I don't like roller coasters. Like I said, hate them." We get on there, the two of us are like, "Oh God, here we go, old Martha forcing us to do it," and it was the best experience ever. It is the most amazing ride you will ever do, and it's 3D. You don't really go on a roller coaster; it's a screen in front of you.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah,
Anna.
yeah, no.
Oh my God! But is it not?
It is.
It's
You
it's
really-
a roller
Is
coaster.
it feels like a roller
Yes,
coaster?
your
Is that the
stomach
one when
drops.
you're on
Where
the broom?
it goes back and forth. You're flying through the air and
Yeah.
it tilts you like this, and then all of a sudden you're going really fast on the screen and they tilt you upside
No,
down.
it is. It's
But
some
it's all you can
It's
see.
pretty-
mind.
It's pretty
Yes.
legit though?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
crazy
Okay.
and
And
it's
it's butterbeer.
awesome. Butterbeer
Is it good?
great. Yes.
Yeah.
I liked
Is
it.
that Diagon Alley? Is that what it was? Where did they go to get butterbeer? They went like off.
I can't remember.
They went out of Hogwarts.
I'm not a diehard Harry Potter
Did
fan.
you read the books?
No.
Did you read the books?
I didn't read the books, but I've seen all the movies.
Oh, you've seen the
Like
movies?
multiple
That
times,
no, you gotta read the books.
I don't really know all the terms and stuff.
Yeah.
I know
It's
like
I know Muggle.
Muggle.
Harry Potter and
Muggle.
Hermione and Ron.
Ron.
Yep.
Ron Weasley. Yeah, no, I read all the books. I mean, I started reading them in like 2000, 99, 2000. Because they came out in like 97, I think. The books. So they're about 20 years old, the books. But like, so I started reading them, and then it got to the point where like you were ahead of them. So as the books started to come out, you would get the new book and read the new book. So
My sister used to like wait for them.
I
And then she'd go to like
yeah.
release parties, and I'd be
The
like,
people
"You're
that
early."
the books are that big, and the people
Yeah,
that would
they're bigger.
people that would get
They're like Twilight books.
yeah, people would get them and they would read them in a day. I'm like, you were
That
nuts.
was my sister.
Yeah, like you better go to eat something, go to the
I think
bathroom.
she
Like they never
finished-
lift. They just like
yeah.
read the books all day.
I think she
They
did
just
the
sit
on
last
the
one
toilet.
in 24 hours.
Yeah, she's dead like yeah.
That's
Did what? 24 hours?
I think she did it in like a 24-hour span.
Oh, no.
That's nuts.
Yeah, she did it, and so it was like crazy because I remember my mom. I was old enough at this point when the last one came out to remember it. She went to like the party at Borders. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Borders.
Borders. I
Yeah.
just love
Gone.
Borders.
She
That's
like
not
gone
yeah,
now. Yeah,
she
it's gone,
went
but
and
that's a good place.
I think she read it, and the next day it was maybe 2 days, and she finished it. And I remember her coming to my grandparents' pool and telling us all about the ending. But I didn't ever read it. So.
No, it's cool. I was a slow reader. I can probably count on my hands how many times I've read 100 pages in a day, which is a lot for me. That means I like read for quite a bit, which is usually like maybe on a plane or something like that. You know, I'd read.
That's more than I do in a year.
There's audiobooks,
I like podcasts.
podcasts. Do you guys listen to podcasts?
Yes, I do.
Which ones?
Off the vine.
Off the Vine. All
With Caitlin
vinyls.
Bristow.
You're supposed to have a glass of wine and listen to her.
Off the Vine.
We gotta go
Oh.
to one of her lives.
Yes, I would totally
Who
go.
was this? It?
The Bachelor.
Yeah, we're big Bachelorette fans and Bachelor
Oh.
And
fans.
That's who
Vile.
she is. Off the Vine.
She was a Bachelorette. She was also on The Bachelor.
And Vile Files.
Yeah, Vile Files, they're pretty good. I just started. Have you ever heard Serial? Serial is amazing.
like serial killer stuff.
No, she
Oh.
tells the story.
Whoa.
Have you seen in the news?
Getting really dark here.
Just in
No.
the last few weeks, Adnan Syed, he was a guy who people believe he was convicted of murder on like evidence that was
Yeah, serial S-E-R, not serial bowl.
yeah,
S-E-R.
SERIAL.
That's-
I have it right here. Look,
Yeah, but that's not by.
it's by Sarah something. That's
Why
the
does her
logo.
phone not do that like mine does?
It's because I paid for that big expensive one. Maybe it's updated.
Oh,
I mean, they charged me so much for it. It has to give me something. So maybe
Is
that's
that a
it.
10?
The 10X Max. Is that what it's
Great
called?
pictures and video.
Yes, that's why I paid for it.
I
It
should-
was
I
a
should have now-
stupid amount
Now
of
I
money.
got I think I have the 8 plus.
Yeah,
Not good. I
it
should have got
was-
the 10.
I told
But,
her.
well, you know what they go on the 10 are like, oh, the only thing different is like the face recognition or something. I'm like, why do I need to pay that first? I don't care less. I don't even have a passcode on my phone. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, now I figure
I
I have all
actually don't
this
have
like,
a passcode either.
I
I
thought
think
you
it's
had to have
annoying.
one.
huh?
I thought you had to have, mine's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because I hate it.
No, you don't need a passcode.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
did
you
not.
can
No,
shut it
I,
off.
if I had a passcode on my phone, I would be plugging it in 300 times a day. Like I mean, I just open my phone too much, so I can't.
Yeah, I
I'd
don't
be
like
crazy.
to mess with it, and it takes too long.
So
I'm gonna
is
turn mine off.
serial? It's not about serial killers.
No, she looks into like they just released the next season in the last like 6 months. They look into she researches like Die Hard dives right into it. One major case. So the first season is about
So it's,
Adnan Syed. He's in the news right now because they're trying to get him a new trial over this podcast being released.
okay.
It's been going on for I think 3 years. The second one is about that person that abandoned his post in Afghanistan, and he was held by I think the Taliban for it had to be like a long time because people were very torn down the middle of if he was a traitor to America or if he wasn't. She like talks to people that were on the base. She investigates it. She gives her legal analysis, that sort of thing. And then the last one is she's investigating Cleveland courtrooms, I think it is, and the cases that go through it, like the drugs, the charges and such. How like I haven't listened to the last one yet, but I read it's about like I guess almost like the problematic cases that go through. And I guess it's kind of like a broken system out there, so she kind of is like putting a spotlight on it.
These aren't that long.
No, and they're fascinating. I got
Really?
my cousin Ella, she's in high school.
Mhm.
I got my cousin Ella to start this one day in the car when we were coming back from Taylor Swift. And she binged it. Like she went through that podcast like crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it's just fascinating. you, and she gives you all of the like play-by-plays, like at this time he went here, at this time he did this, and then by this time the cops were at his door, and then they give you all the like what the samples and when they took blood, like all of that stuff. They give you all of the details, and then you can kind of decide for yourself, like, do you think he's innocent or do you think he's guilty? I think he's innocent.
You do?
For a non-stat, yeah, I personally think he's innocent. His story just doesn't make sense.
Based on what she says.
Yes, and she has like the actual like folders, and I think that's why the world is freaking out about him. Well, not the world, the country is freaking out about it right now because the evidence that's brought to court, he was convicted for life on like almost unreliable information. I feel like, but if you like podcasts, you'll love that one. You can like picture it happening. Her voice. She has like this monotone.
I just like that. I just like that it's. I like the murder mystery things. Not
You would
murder,
love
but I like
this,
thriller
yes.
kind of things.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, you need to listen.
Like Dateline stuff.
Even if you're just like sitting and like doing work, it's just something awesome to have in the background. I love it.
Well, I drive a lot, so that would be like it's less than an
That's
hour.
what I
That's
did,
like to an
yes.
appointment and back, and I could pretty much get through almost one, which would be cool. Okay,
Yep.
no, I like that. I'm glad. I'll check that out. Okay. Why do you guys like Taylor Swift?
We are
Tell them what you told me before we got on the podcast.
My first Taylor Swift concert was Rentor.
Best album.
At the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium, which during it, there was like a lightning storm and we all had to evacuate for like an hour and a half and then go back. So like everyone is like anxious to see Taylor Swift, like your emotions are all like, oh my gosh, she's coming out. So her first song, she comes out and literally just all my emotions, I just started like crying with like a bunch of like 12-year-olds in front of me and they literally were laughing at me. It was so embarrassing, but I like couldn't keep it together. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like Taylor Swift is on the stage and I'm like crying.
Yeah.
That was your first show with her?
Mm-hmm.
Have you only show or have you seen her again?
No, I saw her
1989, the year she was born.
Mine too.
I went to 1989.
She's my age. Yep.
And my
And you don't
dedication.
like
Huh?
And you don't like her?
No, how can you not?
No.
She's amazing. She's just
Actually,
talented.
I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Adele is the same age as me too.
Oh, I thought
I think
Adele was
they are the
so
same
old
age.
for some reason.
No, because I
No.
think her album when she recorded her albums, I think I'm the same age as her when she like 19, 21, 25.
Yeah.
I think was my same age. I
Yeah.
think she's 20.
That would make sense.
I think she's my age. No, Taylor Swift, 1989. Yep.
Yep, I went to 1989 and I cried in the car on my way to the concert and my mom was like, this is ridiculous.
We also saw
I was
Gaga.
like hysterical. Yes, we
Together.
both went to was it the Bad Romance tour?
Which one?
Yes.
Who's that?
Born
Lady
This Way,
Gaga.
it was Born This Way.
At the Bell Center.
Yep.
We
Which
were both there, but we didn't know each other.
Which one's the best one?
Gaga or Taylor Swift.
Which one's better?
Completely different.
Yeah, they're totally different
Taylor
performers.
Swift is just obviously
They're
amazing.
both good though.
Yeah, but and
Yes.
Gaga is just a really good
She's-
performer.
Yes,
Like
she's all
she
vocals,
brings
like
a ton of stuff on the stage. Like
crazy
she's all over the
costumes.
place.
Yeah.
Those are both at the Bell Center?
Yes, and I went to the most recent one for what was her last album called? It has so many songs. They all like.
Oh my gosh, why can't we think of it? This
Which
is
one?
I had to
Taylor
go to New York.
Swift?
Yes, I
Yes.
had to go to New York City for it.
I haven't
because
listened.
she doesn't do the Bell Center
I-
anymore. She's so.
I haven't listened to Taylor Swift since probably her big first song.
Reputation.
Her big first song was
Reputation,
Tim McGraw. Does she still sing the country stuff?
Yes, she did a blurb of it when she does a little bit of everything. And the most recent
Is
one
she
she
more like
did.
pop now?
But she
She
always
is
will
pop
sing like
genre.
3 or 4 songs
Yeah.
from like back in the
She
day.
did. So what she did at
Like
her
Love
most recent.
Story, wasn't that one?
That was the best one I saw at Reputation. She had everybody in the thing jumping, everybody in the stadium jumping up and down. It was shaking.
Because like her genre has completely shifted.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
not like she was
She's
country.
pop now if you look her up.
Yeah, like I mean when I first heard of her, she was on like WOKO.
Yeah,
She was like
straight up country.
Yeah,
I
she was
love her
country.
then too, though.
Do you know that she performed at the Essex Fair
I did know that.
I didn't.
over in Vermont when she was first? She came out with
Yep.
she was opening for somebody.
Brad Paisley.
Yep, yeah, you're right, Brad
Yep.
Paisley. Yep.
I wanted to go. My mom would let me.
But this was a long time ago. This was probably 2007, 8, 9.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was
'Cause
young.
I was just graduating high school.
I was
think.
actually in 6th grade, I believe.
So,
Because
right, yeah.
my best friend Adrian and I were obsessed with our song.
Is it our song?
Is so screaming.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I. Wait, I thought that
Yeah.
was love. It's not love
No.
song.
No,
Love story.
that's
Love story is like
her
Romeo
first.
and Juliet.
Oh, no,
I have a video I can show you after
I was
if you
thinking
wanna
that
see
one,
it.
the slamming screen door
Yeah, that's
Yes,
I
that's
love
one.
what
That one's very old.
And Picture to Burn.
Yes, I have I listened to Picture to Burn 2 days ago on my phone, like when I was driving.
But her first one was Tim McGraw, right? Wasn't the nickname?
That was
that
one
was-
of her first
that was
albums.
like-
Teardrops on My Guitar, I feel like.
That was
her
Yeah,
song.
Teardrops was what got her famous, and then our song
Yeah,
was
but
like the pop.
But I
slash
think
country.
Tim McGraw was her first song. They got her like on the
Probably.
radio,
Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
popped when she hit those
Yeah.
other ones.
Yeah,
No, I've never wanted to go see her.
I'll
No,
take you.
no.
You'll love it.
You know
It'll
what?
be an experience.
I did see Adele.
Oh, she would be great. I would like to see
She's
her.
good.
You know what's funny with Adele? Her concert, her performance is kind of boring because it's like she doesn't do much.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
but-
what I would
Stands there.
picture it, just be
They
like.
say her hands. She just really does this.
But her voice is incredible, like chills. Like she is a very good singer. But what's funny is she's hilarious. So like between songs, she's almost like a comic. Like she'll go up.
Really?
She's really funny. You
He
don't.
and Reedy loves her.
And you know what's funny is when she talks, she makes fun of herself a lot because she's very like real. Like I would. She was one of those people that if she was like here, I would love to just like have a beer with her and just like shoot the shit because she would be so fun. She's very funny. Like she was just making fun of herself. She was bringing people up on stage. She was getting pictures with people and like because she's not like really doing much. Like I mean she's singing. She's a very good singer, but
Gotta have fun with it.
yeah. So she kind of my favorite from like a spectacle kind of thing was I sat front row at a Coldplay concert, which was incredible.
I love
Coldplay a
Yeah,
lot.
it's
I
like-
would go to a Coldplay concert.
Mhm.
Well, we went. It's my wife's favorite band. A couple years ago, we went 3 times in a week. We saw them at Foxborough, and we saw them back to back up in Montreal. And then at the Bell Center, we literally sat front row. And what's funny was we didn't even have tickets, so we're like 5 hours before the show. Like, let's just go to the ticket booth, see what they have. We'll just get tickets and just go. We're up here, whatever. We'll see them again. So then we go down and like walk up to the ticket booth. I'm like, they probably sold out because the night before was sold out. And I go up. I'm like, do you guys have any tickets? They're like, all we have are seats on the floor. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I like, this is me. I'm like, obviously I was like, shit, they actually have tickets. And I'm like, so then I'm like, well, where are they on the floor? Like making it sound like that wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And they're like, row G. And I knew it was like 6 rows back. I'm like, yeah, we'll take them. So I paid face value for them, which was good. They weren't scout. So we end up going in. I don't know where row, like, I'm 6, I have to know 6, but like, we go down in and they sit us on the very far right side, like all the way almost on the boards, the hockey arena. So I'm thinking like, that's probably right, because their last tickets are probably way over on the right. All of a sudden, like I look down at the seat and it was seat 1 and 2. I'm like, we're 29 and 30. Like we're probably on the way other side, because they have like a kind of a catwalk that goes all the way down, like halfway through the stadium. So I tell the girl that's standing there that's working, she goes, oh yeah, so she brings us like literally around the front, along the edge, and she goes, oh, these are your seats. We were on the catwalk.
What?
And then she
Oh
goes,
my God.
and then she goes, and like, my wife was like freaking out. So I'm like, she goes,
Crying.
oh, yeah, and she's like, oh, by the way, like, here's your wristbands. I'm like, what are these for? She goes, oh, if you guys are on the inside, you can actually just stand up for the whole show. So it was really cool. So we didn't even technically have seats. If we had seats, but we just stood up like,
That is amazing.
like Chris Martin's the main guy that I could have went like, you're Chris Martin, I could have almost hit him. Like,
Whoa.
it was really cool. Yeah, I got videos on my phone of him like literally walking right by us.
That's
Like,
so
but they had a really good. I didn't think their show would be that good, and I've seen them 4 or 5 times now. They're really like performance-wise, they're very good. A lot of
Yeah,
like
I
lights
like
and
that.
action and things going on, and obviously the music is really like crowd really gets into it. I'm more of a jam band guy though, so like hippie stuff. But
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's good, I guess.
I love her.
Yeah, keep doing it. You know, keep
I
going.
would consider myself her friend at this point.
Me too.
I've lost so much money to her concerts and her CDs.
You're supporting her.
T-shirts and her everything.
Like one day when she's like doing like events in like Vegas and you go see her and she's like this old lady, just you'd be like, oh my god, Taylor Swift front row. Yeah, you'd still be there.
It'll be me.
I'm like, I went to your
I'll be bringing my
I went to your-
grandkids.
I went to your
and-
1989
Yes.
tour and she's
Yes.
like, oh my god, it's 2089 now. So
Yeah.
she's still crushing.
That's so funny.
No, that's good. I do like the year she was born, so that's a good thing. So Anna, why do you like DC? How many times have you been to DC? Have you ever lived in DC?
I almost moved to DC, so 3 years ago, I think. Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was offered a job in DC, which was like pure luck. But by this point, I had already been a few different times, I believe. And the first time I ever went though, you know when you like go somewhere and you're just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like it's just everything. I love it. I love all the people. I love all the things. I love all the food, drinks, all of it. I'm not kidding. And I chickened out though when accepting the job because I was only, I think 18 or 19. And my thought process was, how am I gonna meet friends, like at work cause I was offered like a big corporate job, and it was not, like, I hadn't even gotten my degree yet. So to me, I was like, all these people are gonna be older, I can't even go out for like a drink, like I'm by myself in this big city. I was terrified to leave my doodles, and my mom, and dad, and my grandparents, and my, like, everybody, and so I like my mom took me to DC on this train, and
The live train.
The live train. It really is a train. Yes.
she got me there because my mom was like, this is amazing, this is a great opportunity, like once in a lifetime, which it was once in a lifetime. And I didn't end up moving though because I would have had, like, after I got my apartment and paid my bills, I had I would have had oodles of money.
You're having ramen soup.
I would have been living on like
You're struggling.
$200 a month if I didn't like live with a stranger, which I had a fear of living with a stranger too. So I was like, I don't want to do that in a big city. And everybody was like, why are you going? Like, this is gonna be like one of your biggest regrets. Now looking back, it is one of my biggest regrets because now I have to like go to DC all the time just to like feed my soul DC because I get so like crazy for it. But I've been several different times, and every time I think like, oh, I'm gonna get sick of going to like the Washington and the Lincoln Memorial, all this stuff, I don't. I like live for it. It's my favorite thing. I could give you a tour. I took Brady and I did it for Christmas. We didn't do presents. I gave him a full tour of the city, and I was like, fine.
You could actually move down and make money doing Illuminati tours.
Sure could.
Oh my god, why did I never think of that?
And then you could have like celebrity.
You know the guy that walks around here tells the ghost stories about this? You just same thing.
I've seen him.
Have you been?
The
Top
top
hat.
hat.
No,
Have you done
I didn't know.
I
I drove by one.
I've never been.
You should go. They're pretty cool.
Have you been?
You've done
Yes,
it?
I've done 2.
If you guys go, I want to go because I just want to see like
Let's
your
go.
reaction.
I've never been. Let's
I've
plan
never.
it.
I've heard it's very good though.
I did it like around
His
Halloween
top
time.
hat is like
Yeah,
scary.
go around Halloween because that's kind of more
There
freaky.
were only 3 people in the tour, me, my dad, and some random lady.
Let's go.
It was so cool.
Okay.
You could ask
Yeah, you really
questions, concerns.
He probably does it now, but I would want to do it in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it now, but like I would want to do it in October.
It's
I
fun.
want to do it down here because he does one right through the. This is the oldest part of Plattsburgh.
Oh boy, I probably won't
Yes.
come back.
So
down
this is
here.
like this is one of the oldest buildings like down through here. All
Yeah.
these kind of like red stone
It's
buildings
pretty
back there.
cool. It's kind of awesome that it's like all like right in the city here, and you don't even realize some of the houses that you pass. Like when I did it, I didn't realize some of them were Battle of Plattsburgh. There's a house down here that has a cannonball from the Battle of Plattsburgh in it.
Oh really? Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sure,
he
sure
talks
there
about
is.
it in his tour. I did the one by Valcor Brewing.
Yep.
It's
Which is supposed to be
There's
haunted.
a lot
yeah.
of
Oh,
them.
that's when bad
Valcor's.
arrest me, City of Plattsburgh. But when I
Yeah.
was
Go
a
stay.
senior,
Go stay there.
No.
I broke into it when I was a senior, and I went through with my friends when I was in high school, and it was so
Before
scary.
they were like Valcor,
Before,
like
Yes, it was abandoned,
Yeah.
and it was like there were still old. Like I remember going into one room, and there were a whole bunch of toilets, like old toilets.
It's
just
gorgeous
sitting
now.
there.
They did a really good job.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know it's the same building that
Yeah.
we went in when we just like we literally hoisted ourselves into the second floor door. Which apparently, like, you can actually get in a lot of trouble for, but we were like
Trespassing?
on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
pretty
Living
It's,
normal.
kind of, it's a crime, but yeah.
It was cool though. It was definitely like really fun to go in. But now it's really even cooler, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nicer. It's not, you're not going to get the. I mean, there's probably still spirits there.
Yeah.
There's rooms there. You can stay there. People do.
Yep. I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me.
Well, no, we'll do the tour. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Get like a whole group and we'll just kind of like
It'd be so
get
cool.
freaked out.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be good. But you in DC should do. That would be cool. If you just like randomly, just like in the middle of the lawn, one of the lawn
my
areas,
God.
be like Illuminati tour, and like you're
Walking
flashing
by
this,
hands in
and all of a
there.
sudden like all these people just kind of like come up to you and read the lost symbol.
I will.
You guys will.
It's just gonna make me more DC hungry though.
Yeah, I just want. You don't have to get an audiobook. Just listen to it. It's like a
Yeah.
podcast, but it's a story.
Yeah, I should do
'Cause
that.
actually-
I do want to actually like read that because anything DC,
It's phenomenal.
TV shows, books,
It's-
anything, I love it.
It's creepy. Like it's
Yeah.
a good book, but it's like a thriller kind of book. But it's a lot. It really
Yeah.
ties that whole thing in. Did you watch like House of Cards?
Oh yes, and you know what my favorite?
Did you
is?
watch the whole House of Cards?
Yes, I did. Except the last season was a letdown.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about this.
Okay,
Yes.
are you gonna?
No,
like,
keep going. Keep
go
talking.
out for it?
No. no.
He,
it was
you
letdown.
know what's crazy? I binged House of Cards. I loved it. I'm very big. I really do enjoy like political shows. Like my other one is Scandal. I don't know if you watched Scandal.
I know what it is.
Great show.
I've heard. I
I
haven't watched
started it, but I couldn't get
Oh
into
my
it.
god, Brady and I loved it. We watched it like
I love
so
what's
fast.
her name though.
Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great actress. She's great in the show, but it's DC based, and you think you're in DC with it, but they never filmed in DC. So it's kind of crazy. But House of Cards, loved it, and I
Incredible.
also felt like it was very like realistic. That's where I was like, you
Is
felt
that
like
like Kevin Spacey?
yes,
Yes.
Kevin Spacey
Did
and
he
what's
get like fired from it or something?
He did.
yes,
Okay.
which the last season
Yeah.
that's why it was kind of a letdown. because
Did
it's-
you watch it?
No.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Spacey has some personal issues, so he
Yeah.
got up. He got.
What
Yeah.
happened? What happened?
He.
like did he molest?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was
kinda-
that, but
yeah.
I couldn't
He
remember.
was touching little boys. So,
Yeah.
allegedly, maybe true. I don't know. I don't follow. But he got kicked off the show, which I was
haven't
disappointed.
followed it. Yeah, it just changed the show. The last
Yeah.
season was not that good. I couldn't get into it, and they brought in that what's her name, Diane
Oh, the
something.
blonde lady?
No, that's just Claire Underwood.
No.
Oh, are you talking? Is she blonde? I thought she was.
The one that's kind of like a little kind of crazy.
Yes,
She's
she's
kind of
a
like.
famous actress from like Under the Tuscan Sun and stuff.
Yeah, she sucked. I hated her.
Diane Keaton, I want to say.
No, it was Diane Keaton. Oh, it was.
Diane something.
I know you're talking about. She was like the foreign diplomat.
Yeah.
And the problem is House of Cards was good, and then it started to get too soap opera
Yes,
towards the end.
they took it to a
So it
different.
was just like dragged.
Well, everything was just like they never answered anybody. Like if you asked me a question, you'd be like, "So Galen, are they gonna vote like that?" And they'd be like, "Oh, that person died over there," or like it was like one of those things like. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah,
But they would
that's
like
a
wouldn't
perfect
they
way
wouldn't
to
like
put it.
directly answer the question, and then they would like make a comment or like they would say something and be like, "Have a nice day," and like walk out of the room. Like creepy like endings where you're like, "Dude, just answer the question." Like nobody
Yeah.
talks like that.
Yeah,
So it was very like
it was hard.
it got more soap opera-y, but like the beginning, like
The
before
first two seasons were.
first how many seasons were there
I
total?
think there's 4 or 5 now. I think the 5th one
I've
is
heard a lot of good
Fifth?
stuff.
Claire
It's
Underwood
very
as
good.
president. Which that's when I lost interest, was when
Oh,
Frank brought her
you're-
on board
you're right,
for
so
vice presidency.
season-
I was like, come on.
Season 1 was good. Season 2 was really good. Season 3 I think dipped. Season 4 got very good, and then season 5 when Spacey left
Yes.
was like nah. Like
Yep.
you gotta watch it because you gotta actually finish this. You can't watch up to that and not finish
Yeah.
it. But and actually what was bad was that it started out not that bad.
Yes.
The last season started out decent, and then it just kind of like
Kind of
dragged on and
lose
dragged on and dragged
interest,
on, and
yeah.
nothing really happened.
Yep.
But there was a couple cool like little twists in the last season. Like remember when they like she was going like crazy and everybody was like, we got to
Yeah.
impeach this lady.
Which,
And-
yeah.
And
Which
sorry,
I was,
Grandma's gonna listen to this. So
Lady.
impeach this lady, and but then it was like kind of one of those things, and then there was some good stuff, but then it was weird.
you
The
would
ending
probably
was
like it. But it is like
it's
political.
decent.
My thing is,
Yeah.
if you don't, like, if I didn't, I took some political science classes, but if you didn't, like, know a lot about, like, the whip or, like, the majority, like, how, like, even the
I
Senate.
don't even know what
works,
I don't even know what the whip is, but I know like Senate majority, Senate minority. Like I understand that
I
concept,
think
but
that's why, because I tried to get my boyfriend to watch it recently. He lost interest.
Really?
He couldn't like stay in it, but I think it's because he wasn't like he's not like
Yeah.
political in the sense where he knows like you vote on this or you do that. He's more like I'll vote for what's right at the time. He
Mhm.
doesn't think about it. Where I think in the show they emphasize on like what their jobs are, what each senator does, what the
It's-
president does.
it's kind of funny because they really don't get too political on the show.
Yeah,
Like they
but it's
they
like
have like
behind the
topics, but it's
scenes,
like
yeah.
it's like stuff
It's
that
never you're a Democrat or you're a Republican.
Yeah.
It's like anybody could watch it, and it's more so like the laid
like
back.
Frank I think was a Democrat, but like you don't like
Yeah.
you almost like don't even really realize it because they don't get into politics.
Yeah,
like-
I actually
like that
voted
kind of
for
stuff.
Republican, so that explains
No, because he
that.
ran against remember the young guy, the tall like it was like the good looking guy, social media
Yes,
guy.
yes,
he was,
you're
he was
right, okay,
Republican,
I forgot
yeah,
about that.
So, like the army guy.
Yep.
But there's some like good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's worth because it's kind of it's
On
like
the edge of
a
your seat.
it's like a thriller.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you know in DC that do you know what the tallest building in DC? This is the Capitol building.
I
There's-
didn't know that.
There's no skyscrapers in DC
Yes, I did know that.
because nothing can be because the city ordinances and stuff. You can't actually build anything higher than the Capitol building.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's why there'll never be high rises in DC. Everything's very low. All the apartments are probably like what 3-4 stories.
I was gonna say I think 3 floors. You don't see many
Yep.
4.
Yep.
Some of the
That's so
apartment
weird.
buildings in
They're all
DC are high, but they're not high enough. Like the apartment that I lived when I was moving, I think the apartment itself that was open, I think it was on the 3rd floor. But it's still like you don't even feel like you're that high when you're in your hotel.
Mhm.
That's what's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's all low level like.
But if you go and you stay, which I recommend to everybody listening, go and stay. It's the best, but don't stay in DC. Stay in Georgetown. It's
Okay.
about a 7-minute drive, but DC kind of shuts down at night. It's everybody comes in for the morning for work. It's like a big business corporation place. Everybody leaves at night, so you very rarely will find like a little like
Nightlife kind of thing.
yeah. It's like you can, but it's like the lines are out the door. It's expensive. It's awful. It's just kind of freaky almost. People just wander the streets. Georgetown is like a Lake Placid on steroids, but even better.
Now, District of Columbia is its own thing.
I think so. Isn't it
Right.
Washington District of Columbia?
Yeah.
I don't know.
DC, Washington DC, District of Columbia, because there's Maryland and Virginia down there.
I think I mean, they're not their own state, so.
But their own territory. Like, I think
Yeah.
DC actually, when you vote, I
I
want
don't
to
know.
say this.
My sister and
Wait,
my
it's
grandma are
considered
gonna
another
tell me-
state?
It's not a state. It's like a district. It's a District of Columbia. But I think DC is in Virginia or Maryland, or it's its own. Because it's what is it? The Alexandria River. They all kind of
Yes.
connect right there.
In Alexandria, Virginia, isn't that like a hub
Well,
for
like
tourists?
Arlington National Cemetery is
Yes,
in Virginia.
which you can look at it.
Yeah,
So
it's
you can
close.
sit, like, one of the monuments sits, I think it's the World War II one. It's like the picture of the men pushing the flag up in the war
Iwo
zone?
Jima.
Yeah, that one's at the bottom of the hill of Arlington.
Okay.
So you can go up the hill to, like, travel into Arlington Cemetery, and then you're there, but it's all so close that,
Don't hate me for this. I've been to DC for 5 hours in my life.
oh my God.
Yeah,
So-
I've never been.
I went to
Actually, I've been in the airport for layovers
Uh,
like 5 times.
I'm so
Um,
disappointed.
so I went to Bethesda. You've heard of Bethesda in Maryland?
No.
It's not that far. It's probably like 20 minutes outside. It's a pretty big city down there. And I went down for a golf tournament. It was U.S. Open a long time ago. And
You go?
Yeah.
Cool, me too.
do you? Oh, we'll talk about that. We'll talk
I
about
kind
it.
of just like started because I got lessons when I was at the golf course and stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll talk about this. Maybe we'll rope you into some stuff.
We should go.
Well, just a second. Let me finish
Okay.
this, and we'll talk about golf. We'll make sure that we touch on golf. So, actually, last night I did a podcast with Connor, and she plays golf. She's pretty good.
Oh.
I went into DC. I saw the Lincoln, the Jefferson, the Washington, and another one. Lincoln, Washington, Jefferson.
Did you see the Korean that's like right next to Lincoln? You can walk right
maybe
over.
not.
It's
Maybe-
the one with the people, like human-sized sculptures walking, and they're really freaky.
No, I didn't. That's freaky. No, I didn't.
It's haunting.
So I basically we ran around and saw everything and saw the Capitol and saw the White House.
Oh, you saw, actually I think this is the World War II one. The one that's like the big, it's like a U, and it has a statue. It's in between the Washington and the
Has all the
Lincoln.
states on the.
Yeah, so you have to walk through it to get to
Yes.
Lincoln. That's World War II, I believe.
So
Love that one too. That was great.
Yeah, so I walked through that, had all the states represented or something, like
Yep.
had a post for each state, it was great.
Yeah.
So did that whole thing really fast, and then we went to an Ethiopian restaurant. If you've never been to an Ethiopian restaurant, you sit down, very authentic. It was on K Street. K Street?
Street, yes, okay.
There's K Street.
You're on your A game.
Mm-hmm.
Get it? Do you get it? It's all letters.
A B C D's E
You're
F
on your
G's.
A game. No pun intended.
Oh, good.
Maybe.
I heard something the other day on a podcast and I was dying
Oh,
laughing, and they said something about one eye or something, and oh jeez, no, the guy was talking about American Idol. There's like a girl that was blind or something on it.
Oh, yeah,
She goes,
she is.
yeah, she has one eye, and they kicked her off. She didn't even see it coming, no pun intended. and he just said it like it was so like nonchalant. They're like, Jesus, okay, well, but so yeah, so I think it was K Street. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 8K. It was one of those streets, and so we went to the Ethiopian restaurant. You had like legit like ladies from Ethiopia all dressed up, and
Awesome.
you sit down and they put this big, basically like thin like breading spongy pita type thing out, and it just like
Non? Is it non?
might be. Ooh, that's good. Might be
That's
something
pretty
like that.
good. That's
And then
impressive.
and it's like scoops of stuff. There's like meats and different stuff. It all looks like just mashed potatoes, but it's not. Like there's some texture to it. But they had it like all dumped over, and then they had this might be naan. It looked like a napkin folded up, and you literally would rip the napkin off. There's no silverware. You'd rip the napkin off, reach and pinch whatever you wanted to eat, and you just eat the whole thing. Like you'd eat that and this breading, which would like soak up the juices.
That's kind of cool.
It was really good, but like super odd. Like
yeah.
there's nothing there. There's like no utensils. We had sitting at a table, this big round like
That's
soft
so
bread.
savage.
It was like, yeah, I mean, like,
Actually,
but that was it. Ethiopian, it was packed. Like people were loving this, and there was a
Yeah.
bunch of them on the street. But I think we were at like a really good one because it was like it was kind of tough to get in, and these ladies were legit from Ethiopia. Um, that was it. That was my DC experience. I've always,
please go back.
I do. I would like to go down for like a week and hit like,
You don't even need a week. That's what people always think it's like a big excursion.
yeah, it's not.
Brady and I go for the weekend. You can get a ticket.
But like, I want to
for-
see like museums.
Oh, then go for like a few days, because
Yeah.
you really don't need that
Cool.
much time to do the museum. Well, if you want to go to several museums, because there's hundreds.
Yeah, but when you go to see like a monument, like the Lincoln Monument, it's just a structure. It's not like you can go in
Yeah.
and see anything.
Yeah, it's
Like
not
I've been there. I mean,
Yeah,
he's sitting in a
except-
chair.
Jefferson has an underground museum.
I went to Jefferson. He's the one that's
That's
out
my
kind of on a
favorite.
little island.
Yes, that's my all-time
With that
favorite. That's where you go for the cherry blossoms. That's where the tidal basin is, where everyone takes their pictures, and it's the best monument. It's the marble one with the pillars. You know, I always talk about that. I'm obsessed.
Yes, it does have the pillars. I remember that.
Yeah,
So
it's beautiful.
if I ever go to DC, I will ask you for. We have
I will
some
type you up
friends
a
there, but I want an
guide.
itinerary. Yeah, I really do because like
You
I
should
want to.
just make one and sell them.
I've told
I know.
so many. I'm not kidding you. I've pitched DC to so many different people that everyone at the end of my pitch, which is like 15 minutes because I had a talking problem. After I'm like, okay, sorry, you probably lost interest 25 minutes ago, but here I keep going. And there was like, wow, I really feel like you just sold me the trip. I need to go. And I'm like, I should charge for this. This is a service. Like,
I just paid for my trip down. I'll go with
like
it. I'll give you the whole tour. I'll even show you the
But the
Illuminati.
new flights out of Plattsburgh,
Yeah.
it's like you can
How
get,
far is Dulles though from the city?
it's
Is it
about
Reagan
a
close?
30-minute Uber ride.
Is it Reagan closer?
Yes, but we don't fly, that one doesn't fly to
Yeah.
Reagan. But it's worth it because the amount that you're paying for the ticket, and then it's a 40-minute flight from Plattsburgh. 30 coming home.
Really? That's it?
Yes, like 38 minutes, literally. And by the time you're up in the air, you're back down.
Have you done that flight yet?
Yeah.
I'll
We
have to
did
go.
it for Christmas. We did plane tickets
I,
in DC.
part of me wants to just like do
It's
a
so
long
worth
weekend.
The tickets
but-
are so cheap. You can literally
Yeah.
just book it on a Wednesday and go on a Friday.
I kind of want to, yeah. I got to coordinate with the kid situation. Kids.
I'll babysit.
How many
Just
kids?
go to DC, seriously.
15 months and one's due in 6 weeks.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I
the
heard
baby.
you say it the other day.
Oh, you didn't know I have kids?
No, I knew you had one, but I didn't know that there was one on the way.
Yeah. Be number 2.
You're gonna be really tired with all.
Yeah, I'm
That's
already.
so
I don't get much sleep now,
That's so
so
exciting.
yeah, it'll be fun. But
Yeah, that's super.
I might have to delay it.
Do you know the gender?
No,
Yay, it's gonna be a surprise.
we did the first one too. Yeah.
I couldn't
Cool.
do that.
Okay, so
I love that.
So if you girls ever decide to have children, you can do. I would say do whatever you want, but I would really suggest not finding out the gender.
Yeah, I
It's-
Really?
I don't think
Just
I
go
might
for
be opposite. I mean, I've never had a kid, so I don't know.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to find out anyways. Like there's no reason that you need to find out the gender. You can
I agree.
do the
I feel
rooms
like
whatever.
It kind of is like your reward for going
Like-
through that.
Like we did like a light blue gray bedroom. Like it looks great.
Yeah.
Like and then for the second one we have like a light grayish green tint bedroom. Like doesn't matter, boy or girl, looks cool. And get clothes. Like if you get clothes, like you're gonna get newborn clothes, they're gonna be out of it in like 2 weeks anyways, or not in 2 weeks, but like a month they're gonna be pretty much
Right.
growing out of it. So you can always buy clothes like once you find out the gender. So like people,
Yeah, that's true.
there's really and like everything else is like it doesn't. Like I don't know. I would say don't because it's
No, I like the
like when you actually
surprise.
have like at delivery like finding out the gender, you're so excited because like now you actually that's your reveal party is the actual
Yeah.
birth. So I don't know. That was my suggestion to you.
That
But
is exciting. I can see that. I just feel like I'm a blabbermouth and I need to know so I can tell my whole family, oh, it's a girl. It's a boy.
could be. I don't know. It could be a girl. Could
I'm
be a boy.
horrible with
It's-
secrets.
What do you
also.
think it is?
I think it's
do you
boy.
have like
I think it's
an
boy.
instinct? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I
And
actually
you have a boy now?
I say want. People are gonna be like, want, I like whatever. But I selfishly want a boy because I've never had a brother. So it would be
Oh,
cool to have.
yeah.
There's
Yeah, I
maybe
see that.
17 months apart, which would be really sweet. Like now, if he has a sister, I will.
They'll probably
It'd be
be
no
close,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, like me and my sister are 2 years apart, and we're very close. So like that's fine. Like I'm cool with that. But part of me just wants brothers that are close in age because I never had it, so I think it would be kind of cool. But
Yeah, that's cool.
but it doesn't matter. I really could care less. If it's a girl, I'll be ecstatic. I'd love to have a girl at some point, and then if I have two boys and a girl, that'd be great. But no, DC's cool. I would like to go. Haven't been. Properly haven't been. It's like running in, running out kind of thing.
Well, if you go to Martin's Tavern in Georgetown, that's
Okay.
the one place that you have to go.
I've driven by. Oh no, wrong city. No. Okay. I was gonna say Villanova. Villanova's New Philly.
Yeah.
not Georgetown. I got it mixed up because I used to play in Big East basketball,
Yeah.
so I used to watch them a lot, and they're similar in colors. That's
Yeah.
why. So sorry. And then we're like, I guess Georgetown's an actual location though.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's
And that's
town.
like where a lot of the like people that actually live there and work, they live in Georgetown and they commute just across it's a bridge literally that separates the two of them.
Across the Alexandria River.
No, I think it's the Potomac.
Or Potomac?
I think that's what separates
Is
them.
is Alexandria? Is that even a river?
Alexandria, Virginia it might be, but I know it's a city. Like a lot of the
It's not a-
photographers that
Okay.
photograph in DC, they're from Alexandria.
Okay.
And they have, Alexandria, Virginia has a lot of like bigger hotels for like weddings and that sort of thing.
Because outside the city lines, you can have yeah.
Yeah.
But fun fact. Look at that. So okay, no, it's good. I don't even know if there's an Alexandria River. I think there is. If not, it's Potomac.
It sounds like
Potomac,
it's
there's definitely
I know
Potomac.
Potomac is the big famous one in DC.
Yeah.
That's the one that like separates the.
Maryland and.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so. But it's like right there too. I feel like that's why I just know it's the Potomac.
That's cool. When's the first time you went to DC?
I was a sophomore in high school, which I've been begging for a very long time.
So 6 years ago. 7 years
Maybe
ago.
freshman year. My mom and dad took my best friend Brooke and I on a trip. It was like 5 days. We went to Gettysburg first, and then it was like so long to drive though. It felt like.
It's not bad though. I mean, I think it's 9 hours.
It's doable. Yeah.
Like now, like you could drive down and like if you
We
leave like early in the
split
morning,
it,
you're there like
Gettysburg.
mid-afternoon. It's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal.
Which going to Gettysburg is also really cool. We didn't do like many of the tours. We just like popped in to split the trip up.
Mhm.
But it's cool to see all of it. I always wanted to go to DC just because I liked the history. I was like a big history nerd about it. But now I am still a big history nerd. But I love the city.
No, that's cool.
It's so cool.
So golf. How often do you play golf?
So I played a lot last summer.
Did you?
Like last summer was like the first summer that I actually was like golfing, like going to the barracks. What's the one right?
Bluff Point.
Bluff Point and Harmony.
Harmony, yep.
Yeah.
Adirondack.
Yeah, so I would go with my boyfriend and then Ryan Kerner and AJ Kaiser. They just moved to Colorado, but we would go a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have this thing online that I kind of try to put together, which is like trying to play like Wednesday morning, or basically like a group to try to get people to go play. Like people our age that
Yeah.
don't-
No,
otherwise
very interested.
don't have people to go play. So basically, like if we show up and there's 7 people that want to go out, then we'll do a group of 4 and a group of 3. So you just kind of like flip tees or pick whoever and just go out and play, just so you always are playing with people. It's kind of like a rotating thing, and like might do Bluff, might do Barracks, might do Adirondack, Harmony, wherever we can go, or like maybe like be crazy and go up to like Malone or Placid and play, because those are some nice courses.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if you want to do that.
Yeah, man.
Have you ever played in tournaments?
No.
Like
Oh
scrambles?
yeah, actually I did. I play the one at the barracks that they do every year with Saranac. It's pretty big.
Like a Saranac, like booster club thing?
Yeah.
Like our sports?
It's their booster club
Booster, yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, so those are fun too. So we might bring you on. 'Cause
We
there's-
should do like our own tournament. Like get all like the local people.
Well, you guys are the ones that throw the parties, not.
I've never played golf, so
No.
I'm useless for this. I'll coordinate it for you guys.
There you
I'll
go.
drive a golf cart.
You could do that. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but we'll try to get you in like even like tournaments and stuff would be fun.
Yeah.
Cause
yeah.
they're kind of like they're scrambles. That's best ball kind of thing.
Yeah.
Teams of 4.
Wait, I
yeah.
did. What's the one that was at Bluff this year? It was like at the end of the season.
I mean, they have a handful every
I
year.
did that. We did a scramble.
Yeah, we did a couple. But we have like a few people that like from like AQYP we play golf together and stuff. So like we get like little groups together, just to like a group of like 4 people that would be fun to go golf with. We're not super competitive, so we just got fun.
Oh yeah, I'm not professional.
Yeah,
at all, but
no, it's fun though.
I mean, I can keep it in play.
Good, that's it.
Yeah.
As long as you can like get off the tee and make
Yeah.
couple putts, then you're fine. Usually that's.
I mean, I've beaten Dylan twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
god.
had an off.
So I'm
Very
Is he good?
He's
What do you
like-
normally?
he's
Decent.
What do you normally shoot?
I'm up there in the 90s, high 90s.
Oh, that's good
Yeah.
for 18.
Yes.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. I think if you can break 100 in golf, you're overall pretty good. I'd say if you can break 90 and you're shooting the 80s,
I
you're
haven't broken 90. But I also like that, like
You
I
just
said,
started, though.
last summer was like my first summer,
That's
like
very
actually
good.
like playing a lot.
yeah, under 100 is very good.
Yeah.
No, that's impressive. Yeah, especially if you just started. Golf's hard. It's not easy. I think people forget how.
I go with my dad a lot too.
Is he pretty good?
Yeah. He played out in LA all the time and stuff, so he's like all the mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's one where once you understand the kind of the how to swing a golf club, then
It's so mental too.
it's a lot of a mental, and it's a lot of opposite of what you think you need to do. So
Mm-hmm.
like when you're swinging the golf club, you don't want to, a couple things, like you don't want to grip it hard. Like you gotta kind of have a loose grip because
Yeah.
the problem is like do you overlap or you,
Pinky. I'm a pinky.
like this interlock? Yeah.
Which was actually really hard for me in the beginning. My dad was like, once you get it down, like it's so easy. Like at first I was like, this is impossible to swing club. But then I like got it like that.
What's weird is when I was a little kid, it was like baseball.
That's Dylan. He
Yeah.
hits like baseball bat.
Okay, then you gotta tell him to switch.
He won't. He's like, no, I literally can't. I'm like,
no, you can't. It's gonna feel weird. Like literally go to the
that's
range.
how it was.
Yeah,
and
go
I
to
just
the
went
range
to the
and
range
just
every single day.
Yeah, you'll get it pretty quick. Cause I did the same thing. I went from here. The most popular grip is this, the overlap grip, which I've never liked because which is like an
When you're
interlock,
not, okay.
but you don't interlock it. You just overlay your fingers like here. The problem is I got kind of small hands, so like me, like actually like swing a golf club, like it never felt right. So I always interlock like this. Well, most people don't, but like, which is weird to me. But the two people that interlock the grip, Tiger Woods and Jack Nicholson. So, or Jack Nicholson. Jesus,
I got to
long
meet
day.
Sergio Garcia at my resort.
Did you?
Yeah.
Have you been to a professional tournament?
No.
Did he play golf? Like, were you watching him play golf there, or did
No, he was there for like an Adidas sponsorship
yep,
thing.
yeah. No, he's he won the Masters. He was good.
Yeah.
When
That's why I was like, whoa, this is sick.
When I first saw him, it was 2002. He got second place to Tiger Woods at the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it was really cool. So like, I like going.
So
When I
who's
was in
your-
Bethesda, that's where I was at the golf tournament.
Okay.
Who's my what? Favorite
Who's your-
golfer?
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson.
Okay.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
Phil, lefty. I do like I trust me. If Tiger Woods is in, I'm really, especially now because like nostalgia for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Tiger Woods' last major victory was the day I graduated high school.
Wow.
Our class day. Jay-Z did the class day, so that was like my last official day of high school was the last time he won a major, which to me seems very crazy. So the rate he's going, I hope he wins one this year, which there's no significance this year about any of that, but it would be cool. Maybe it'd be the same day. I gotta figure out what time the U.S. Open is, like that Sunday.
Yeah.
It was.
That would be crazy.
It was June 16th because I know it's weird. Why do you remember that? Because it was my best friend growing up. It was his birthday that day. He's a
Okay.
huge Tiger Woods guy. So, no, golf's fun. You should definitely do it. Did you guys play sports in high school?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What'd you play?
I played soccer and I ran track, and I actually did play softball, but I eventually gave it up because I was running track.
Okay.
More competitive.
What distance?
I was a sprinter, so I was big in the 4x1.
Mhm.
My coaches always put me in the 4x4 because I was best at. My best event was the 400
Mhm.
meter. It was the killer though. It was
That
the
sucks.
where
That's
you
a tough one.
sprint the full lap, and by the end I'd be like, oh my god, just punch me in the face.
So you ran the 400, the individual 400.
Yep.
Then the 4x4 and the 4x1.
Yes.
The 4x1's
And I-
gotta be quick.
Sometimes I
That's-
did the
that's fast.
200 meter, and then it was kind of like a rotation. I did a little jumping, but I wasn't really good at it because I was short.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I did the relay. I was a big relay runner,
And
and
this.
it was my best friends in the relays with me, so we got to go to states together.
Oh, good.
I went to states 2 or 3 years for indoor.
This was PHS.
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
2014.
Okay.
So yeah, I got to do that, which was also really cool. And then my senior year for indoor, we got to go for a 4x100 meter in indoor, and it was like my very best friends that I was with all the time, and we were so excited. It was like so crazy that we got to go.
Yeah.
And we had big competitors against us in the 4x100 for that year, so it was kind of like a treat at the same time.
So what would you run a 400 in? Like, what was your time?
Oh my god, I don't even remember. Ooh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
'Cause I think if you like.
I don't entirely know because for the most part I did the relays and we were doing them and it was like
You do them quicker because.
yeah, and except I guess you couldn't really get a definite time because you're like handing it off,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. So
How often did you practice the handoff?
it was
That's important. That's important.
do
Like,
you wanna
that
hear-
thing.
yeah, if
we
you drop it,
dropped
you're done.
Yeah.
We dropped it once. My best friend and I dropped it on the floor, and we both drama queens, crybabies in high school, fell on the track and cried because we were so. It was a 4x100.
Yeah, but this was this like just
We were
meet?
yes. In the
Oh,
middle,
so this wasn't like
it
a
was-
championship.
No, I think it was the one to go to sectionals. It was right before the CDAC
So
champs.
you didn't go to sectionals because of it?
No, we did, but The problem was when we dropped it, we weren't CDAC champs because we were neck and neck with Saranac. Saranac Central School was always neck and neck
Yeah,
with
they're
us for track.
They're good.
And they had us practicing those baton like handoffs because you're running in a full sprint and
Oh, yeah.
they say you go stick, you put your hand out and you blindly take it. So you have to like have your grip on it
Yeah.
and then you just keep going, you never stop.
Yeah,
You
because you get a running start. So you're handing off while the other person's kind of building up
That's
You
momentum.
so
squat on the ground.
Yeah.
You squat on the ground. They're coming at you as fast as they can. It happened in the 4x100. She was coming at me as fast as she could. No, I was going at her. So she's squatting, and when you're coming up and there's tape that marks the ground, you yell to them and you say up or go, whatever your word is. You have like a keyword, and you usually get like a colorful duct tape so you know it's yours, and it's called your mark. And they get up and they go as fast as they can, like they're taking off for a race, and you have to just like measure it out perfectly to get that your hand to their hand with the stick. And it was right as the thing came up. We were just like making the transition. It flew on the ground. You hit the ground with it. You're disqualified. You're done. You don't even have. We didn't even finish the race. We were just
If
crying.
you drop it, you're disqualified?
Oh, if it touches that ground,
Really?
you're done.
Oh, I thought you could just like pick it up.
Snag it.
Yes, you could,
Yeah.
but you can't. You also, I think, have to stay in your lane.
Can you throw it?
No.
Is it a rule like both people
You
at some
couldn't
point
throw
have
it.
to have
You're
two
not
hands?
looking at each other.
I know, but imagine somebody like looking over your head and just like toss it and you grab it. It's just like.
I mean, I think it has to stay. The handoff, I think, has to be in your lane. And we were for the 4x1. You all have to stay in your lanes because you're all going side by side. And you're pretty close.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess distance, but and it makes a loud ting, and I will never forget this, you guys. The boys, my boyfriend at the time was my best friend, and he would not let it go. Like all of these boys and all of the people that were there watching it, because it was like us, we thought it was the end of the world and mortifying. I'm not kidding you. They constantly, one of the kids from Beekmantown was like, "Oh, it's sticky fingers," and I remember being like, "Do you want to be punched in the face? Like, you think this isn't horrible enough as is?
Yeah.
Like, get it together."
Yeah.
And the two of us were just mortified forever. And people always make fun of us. They were always like, "Remember the time you jumped the baton? Like, how could I forget? Like, really, you just want to put salt in the wound? Come on."
That's rough.
No.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I could probably do like the 4x100, but like, I would think
There's good runners in the 4x100.
I think the 800 would be a killer.
Yeah, that's, no.
To me, I think that's the hardest one, which is just 2 laps around, because you're like, you want to puke at that point, because it's just like you're hitting like almost threshold for probably, probably like 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes, I
It's
think.
killer. Usually if you do the 800, you're a distance runner.
Yeah, that's
Like my friends and I never did it.
that's
We're
crazy.
not.
I think the 200 is also one
That's
of
a
the
sprint.
yeah, because you're
Yes.
sprinting, but like you're sprinting in about 20
I
to
hate
25
it.
seconds.
It's
Yeah,
not.
that's a nasty one.
You know what's weird? Looking back at it, track, like at the time, it was a killer for all of us. We always knew it. And it was like a love-hate. Some people love running. It's more so the distance runners that love track meets. And for the most part, I would say I didn't love it, but then when I wasn't doing it, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm missing something. Because you just feel like your body after is so like exhausted. Just because you're just like,
No, I agree. I was never a runner.
like,
I
in
played.
all honesty, it's awful when you think about it. Like, who thought of this sport? Just running lines, like.
I don't know. I mean,
But then when you win, you feel I shouldn't say I loved soccer more. I loved the team atmosphere more than I loved track.
Was Tim your coach?
Yes,
Yeah.
Tim Mulligan.
Yeah.
My favorite coach ever, actually.
Shazy guy.
Like for soccer.
Yeah.
I loved my track coaches too for track.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He was a really good coach. But I loved the team atmosphere more than I liked, because in track you're competing individually.
Mhm.
So.
And what did you play, Steph?
I did soccer and then I switched to cross country because my main sport was basketball, so I just didn't want to get hurt during soccer. Played softball, switched to tennis, and then I played basketball for 2 years at North Country Community College before I went to Florida. We went to regionals my first year, and the second year we didn't make it, but it was a lot of fun.
What did you play in basketball guard?
Yeah, point guard, shooting guard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my first year I was shooting guard. My second year our point guard got hurt. So
So who's your basketball team?
NBA or college?
Either one. I'm assuming.
UCLA for college.
Usually people
and
follow
then,
college more. That makes sense. Yeah, LA girl.
Lakers fan
Okay.
now, but
They're not doing well.
not well. Well, they wanted to do that big trade with Anthony Davis, and they were like willing to give up 4 of their good players. So like, why would you want to play if you're like up for grabs?
We have LeBron's on the team. Alonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Like, how come there's? I don't really follow. To be honest, I watch a lot of
I
sports,
like college, obviously.
I do too. Yeah.
I like watching Golden State though. I feel like they're
They're good.
just
Are they still the top team right now in NBA? I haven't really followed
They
it.
just lost to someone at like there was like 2 seconds left and Durant got a foul and they made their both foul shots and they won by 1. Who the heck did they play?
They lost or won?
They lost. So literally.
Wait, Durant's not on the team anymore?
No, Durant's on Golden State.
Oh.
Okay, so there was like 5 seconds left. I saw it in the highlights, and Steph Curry got the ball, goes down at the top of the key, like bangs a 3, like slides on his stomach. They get the ball back. He like shoots it like off the baseline. They're up by 2, and with like 2 seconds left, Durant gets this like stupid foul, and the other team scored.
Oh, he had the foul.
He got the foul, but like they were inbounding the ball, and somehow he got foul under the basket.
I
saw the highlights. I can't think who they were playing.
Did you probably? Well, actually, maybe no. You might know. Remember when Steph Curry was at Davidson?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like his
start.
I think his senior year when he went like crazy and he went to like the Elite Eight and he was dropping like 40 points every game. That was impressive.
Yeah, insane.
He's about is he your age? He's kind of young.
Maybe 28.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to think when he was actually in, but he's good. He's a really good player. He was good back
He's
then, and everybody's
so
like, he's not
clutch.
gonna be good in NBA because he's tiny. I'm like,
No, he knows it.
yeah, he just knows that. I mean, if you know how to score, you know, and everything else.
Someone just straight up in your face and you just bang threes
That-
like it's nothing.
I mean, the fact that he's considered the greatest shooter ever over like Larry Bird and over like Reggie Miller and
Insane.
yeah, I mean, you gotta be. I
He's
think
just
he
so
is.
consistent.
Yeah, man, that one
Even
year.
on an off night.
Yeah, that one year where they won like, they beat the record. They had like the 80 or 71 wins, or 73, whatever it was. They beat the Bulls record, and man, he was shooting stuff from like half court,
Yes,
like on
yeah,
the regular, like
yeah.
oh Steph Curry, another buzzer beater from like half court. So
Now he pulls up at half court and no, it's like.
that's crazy. Yeah, no, LA makes sense. Cool. Anything else that you ladies would like to talk about? Anything fun and exciting?
Besides our bridal show that everyone's going to be coming to.
Yeah.
And they've already bought their tickets while they're listening.
Is there a lot of people signed up for that?
Yeah, on Facebook alone we have I think over 100 saying they're going. It's
And
just
I
a
have-
matter of if they come,
I have
but-
like 38 registered brides. That sounds weird.
which then a lot of them
Yeah.
are just going to come in the door, that sort of thing. But the other
Well,
thing
some
is,
people probably don't even know you have to register for it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
some
so
people are probably just
a
gonna show
lot
up that
of-
day.
A lot of people will just walk in.
Yeah.
Which kind of
Um,
makes me a little bit nervous, but at the same time.
So so kind of back to that, like who's doing? Is it just you guys manning the whole thing?
Well,
I
we
think
have
our
we have
sponsors.
volunteers, and then
Yeah.
we have our sponsors, which I don't know, have Saranac Lake again. Katie is one of our sponsors from Van B and Co, and she owns Lakeview Catering. I don't know if
Okay.
you've been to Lakeview Deli.
So good.
Oh, maybe.
Which my family
Saranac
has
Lake or?
Saranac Lake.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. There was another deli we went to in Lake Placid that was very good.
Oh, it was probably what it's called, 46 sandwiches.
That's it.
Simply gourmet, yes.
that's it.
The Marseilles.
Ooh, I think that's the one I got.
Yes, with the apples and the cranberry horseradish.
Yes, that's the one I got. It's really good. Had turkey on it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
My favorite on Asiago bread.
Yeah.
That's like so
You-
specific.
It's so good. I want one
What's
right now.
what's it called? Gourmet deli?
Simply gourmet.
Simply gourmet. That's cool. It's a cool little like setup there.
Yeah.
Sandwiches are
I
phenomenal.
think the one downtown is called 46 sandwiches, but it's still Simply Gourmet.
Okay,
And then the one like that's attached to the Deck Shack is
that's the one we went to.
okay. It's the same thing. It's Simply
Yeah,
Gourmet.
that was really good.
Yeah.
Like the sandwiches are.
It's so fresh, and Boar's Head is just.
Yeah. Do you guys go to 20 Below?
Yes, I have actually.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
They if you're looking for like I like going there and like I mean their sandwich Zook's is good. Obviously Zook's is classic, but like they put more on a sandwich than I think anybody.
Yeah, theirs is big.
So
I'm trying to think. There was one more. I don't know if it was in Saranac Lake, but it was. I remember it was so big. Like putting my mouth around it, it was like hard. It was like painful. You know when they just put so much in there, you can't eat it all.
And we're done.
It was just like too much meat. I don't like a lot of meat.
my favorite show is right there. So I was just I was about to rip on you for about 3 minutes on that one. But that's great. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I'm not like a big sandwich person. I think for that reason though. It's like the day we went on that site visit. Remember they brought me my BLT and you were looking at me. I was like, I can't eat this.
Oh yeah.
It was like literally
Yeah. It's,
too big. I was like, I
that-
can't. I was cutting it with a knife. It was a BLT too. I'm sitting in the meeting, cutting it with a butter knife because I'm like, I can't get my mouth around this. That's a legit problem.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's good sandwich.
I'm still laughing. Oh, sorry everyone, that was probably painful.
No, that's good. We're all good. I don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to go from here. Yeah, I don't know. We just got really off track. So,
Bridal showed it.
Eating big sandwiches.
yeah.
But yeah, I will come back.
Yeah. So, again, we'll put all the stuff in the show notes. I think we're in good shape on that. You guys actually did really good for
You're
your first
coming to Claire
podcast.
Carl's.
Yes,
Yeah,
we get
so-
special fries.
So you actually.
I'm
When do you work?
going in like in 20 minutes.
What time is it? It's 5.
I gotta be there
I
for.
gotta be back here by 5. Maybe not. I'll take a rain check. I'll go though.
Yeah, you need to. It'll
I gotta get well, your numbers out. I don't. I think what
Yeah,
I was thinking about that today.
Yeah, I was like,
Today
you
we
need to
were
call
lost.
Galen, but I don't know his
You didn't
number.
even call me for the office.
That was
She
me.
did.
And do you remember what I said to you when you answered? It was like lost.
Oh, that was you. I didn't.
You're
I didn't know
tired,
this.
I go,
I didn't know.
I call him and he goes, whatever you said, hello? And I'm like, hi, this is Dumbass Anna and Steph, and we're lost in the city of Plattsburgh. Like,
I also
can't find it.
died.
So you say just ask me, I'm like, where are you right now? I'm like, well, we're looking at this. I'm like, okay, go this direction. No, so you call the office number, so like I have it kind of forwarded over. So I'm like looking at it, and I was like, working. They're gonna be here in a minute. I gotta get some stuff done. So this number's going off, and I swear to God, I was like, ring, and I'm like working, and I'm like, I usually don't like to not pick up the phone if I can. So I'm like, hello, and like, and then it was you. So I was like, okay. I'm like, thank God. So, no, yeah. So no, I've never been to Claire and Carl's. Sorry, I will. I promise.
Everyone, come to Claire and Carl's.
I promise I'll go to Claire and Carl's and get the what fries?
Special fries.
Special fries. Is that on the menu or is this like the special
extra
menu?
cheese and extra crispy.
It's a lot of cheese, though. That's literally like what's left in American cheese. You get
Sometimes if I'm really
Is it
hungry.
On the fries?
yes.
Can you get?
No, it gets better though.
But if you get the fries, can you get the fries in like some Michigans?
Yes, but you have to get
Yeah.
Michigan's with cheese.
What?
It's so good. You bury the cheese in the onion.
What kind of cheese?
American.
Like strips of cheese or like cheese whiz?
No, it's strips of cheese.
Okay.
Well,
I'll
give
open.
you one regular and one with cheese, and you can tell me what you think.
I do like to get them the onions buried though.
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
If they're on top, they fall off.
Yes. No, I went, I will not say where I went the other day.
Yeah,
I
what
got
else?
Michigan's and I think I asked for them buried, did not come buried. Hello sir, how you doing?
I'm well,
You wanna be on
yourself?
the podcast?
Hi.
I gotta do just a sec, we just dropping a check off? Give me money? There we go.
Don't close your
It's
eyes.
in the
close
car,
your
it's in
eyes.
the car, just grab
Alright.
it, just grab it
One
on the
box
second
as
car.
usual. Yeah, that's for 11 Clinton Street.
Perfect, okay, I was just about that, we're good.
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks sir.
Thank you guys.
Oh, oh.
Sorry to interrupt.
Bye.
No, you're good. You got me anyway. You're good. Yes, I will get both of those, or I'll get one of each.
Buried.
Yep. And when I went to this other place, did not come buried, and I was upset.
Might have been a car hop fault too.
There was no car hop.
Oh.
Oh, I think I know where you went. I'll say it after though.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not here for roasting.
No.
Yeah. Good.
Unless we're roasting marshmallows. No, I'm just kidding.
I love snacks.
No, so I will go to Claire and Carl's. I'll go soon. I'll make sure that you're there, so you can give me the best thing to order there, which Michigan's and probably special fries.
She was cute today. She bought our coworkers. One of our coworkers brought their mom for lunch, and she was working the lunch shift, and she bought them lunch. And when she told me, I was like, "That's so cute," because we love her.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where that was going, but
She's
that's
just
good.
I know.
She's just a good car off. I like her.
Good. Have you worked there before?
Yeah, that's my second car.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Actually, Illuminati. The first time I ever met her in person, she was my waitress at Claire Carl's, and then we
Car
ended
hop
up
or car hop.
No, you came out to my picnic table.
But I'm still considered a car hop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even have to get out of the
I
car.
didn't know that.
I can just sit in the
Okay,
car?
So she was my waitress.
Where have you been?
I've never been to Clarence
They
Carl's.
hook the tray right on the side of your
Oh, you
window.
guys do that?
It's kind of funny, when you run out to cars, sometimes people are like, and I'm like, it's car hop service, and they're like, oh my god, I didn't know, but like, all these other people are like there with trays off their car, I'm like, yeah, what can I get you? Like,
Wow. Oh, I want to go. I want to do that.
ooh, you should have seen us on opening day, it's just 2 car hops at a
Wait,
time.
when's the season start?
It started on Saturday.
And it goes through Labor Day?
September, like, 3rd week of September.
Okay, cool. No, I've never been, but
Yeah, it's an experience.
yeah, cool. All right, well, then this episode is sponsored by Clarence Carl's. And and Party Plus events. So, also before, you guys want to talk about your new going forward with Party Plus events? Can we talk about that or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Party Plus Events is actually going to be moving. We're in the process of moving to Hammond Lane, which is
In
just
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks apparently. We found that out today. It's actually just right across the street, so if you still go to Route 3 by accident, it's a quick drive across the street and you'll find us. But the building is like newly renovated. Our showroom is a little bit bigger.
And this
it'll
is just for you guys, Party Plus.
No.
Like,
So on the
all
other
of
side
Taylor
is
Rentals coming too?
Commercial sales will be over there, and
They're
then
on the left side. So when you come in that main
Where you got your
entrance,
paper.
we're to the right now.
In the new location.
Yes.
Gotcha.
next to Champlain Electric.
Yep.
Okay,
Champlain,
yep.
yeah.
Yep, you're right. And so Taylor Rental is gonna stay where they are.
Yes, because we are not going to, we are still part of Taylor Rental business-wise, but
Yep.
it'll be Taylor Rental at 550 Route 3, and we will be Party Plus Events at 108 Hammond Lane.
Along with commercial,
Sales.
Business
Sales.
club. Yep,
cool, that's good.
yeah, so it's.
And you guys have a showroom?
We will have a nice showroom.
And you have
We'll still be-
offices?
No, we'll be on the sales floor, like,
On the
kind of
floor,
like
okay.
a car dealership, I guess, you go in.
So it'll be the car hops for there.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. No, I think that's good. So,
Lots of changes.
yeah, no, that's good. I'm happy for you guys. I think you guys are doing very well. I think it's very cool that you guys are obviously in tune, meaning you're friends, which helps, like obviously like day-to-day stuff that
Yeah.
helps. And no, it's kind of cool. I like a lot of the people that I have on are so far have been younger professionals because like peers like my age, and I think that it's cool that you guys are doing what you're doing. Especially that event's gonna be really cool for you guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're pumped.
I think you guys will be really happy when it gets pulled out. Yeah.
We'll be
pulled out.
tired, but
It's alright.
Worth it.
Yeah, it's a Friday night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good,
Cash
dude.
bar.
Yeah, cash bar, just
and
keep
then everyone can just continue on downtown.
exactly
Meet
just
you out.
roll it into the evening.
Yes,
Steph and I will
didn't
meet
even
you
think
out.
about that. Yeah.
There you go. That'll be a fun night. So, anything else you guys want to mention, plug, talk about?
I don't think so.
Good.
I think we covered like,
Yeah.
everything.
You guys were great. That was very good.
Emphasize on the
We gotta get her.
Naughty.
We gotta get her out for.
Claire and Carl's.
That'll be her. That'll
We
be
need
her.
a picture.
That'll be her picture.
Yes.
That'll be her picture. Okay. So, all right. So that's that. In the show notes, guys. Again, we will have contact information for both ladies. Also, the bridal show. And I think that's it. So for Anna, Steph, and myself, that is episode 22 of the Galen Trombley Show. We are out.